From Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts, it's Cape League Baseball here on the Kettleers Radio Network for Game 17 as the Cotuit Kettleers are set to take on the Chatham Anglers here on Friday night. Hi, everybody, and welcome back into the Ketts Radio Network. I'm Joe Pratt, joined alongside Alex Rocco. Adele Huffman will be joining us in just a few moments, but we are also just a few moments from first pitch right here at Veterans Field with Jansen Kiesel on the mound taking on Tyler Kozera in what is set to be a great battle between two historic franchises in this league, Alex.
Certainly should be a great game here today, and this is a Chatham team that is really starting to play good baseball. They've won their last three contests, and including that two-game sweep on the 3rd and 4th of July against Orleans. So this will be a tough test for Cotuit, heading on the road here to Veterans Field and playing off against a Chatham team that gave them a little bit of trouble the first time these two teams played. Of course, Cotuit did pick up the win, but it was a 1-1 battle through the majority of that game. Just a 3-run bottom of the 7th for Cotuit allowed them to pick up the 4-1 victory. So should be another good one here today.
Yeah, it was a hot start for both teams as Austin Overend wasted no time in that game to blast the first pitch he saw into straightaway center field to take a 1-0 lead. Cotuit responded in the bottom of the first with a run and then rattled off 3 in the bottom of the 7th. And that's kind of been their forte this season, Alex, is getting those big innings. And that's not something Cotuit did in these past couple games, but a win, getting back on track last night. What'd you like from the Ketts a night ago?
That was a much-needed win for the Kettleers last night. And of course, it all comes on the back of the starting pitcher, Thatcher Hurd. He went 6 innings, allowed just 1 hit. Of course, it was a home run, but had command of all of his pitches. 6 strikeouts, just 1 walk, and he gave the Kettleers exactly what they needed. Length from their starting pitcher, the longest start this year for any Cotuit player. And of course, the bullpen was dominant once again. And when you have a pitcher that's pitching as well as Thatcher Hurd was last night, all it takes is 1 or 2 hits here and there. And Brandon Compton, of course, did that with a solo shot and the RBI ground out by Tyler Cerny. And Cerny, although didn't have a hit in last night's game, made a couple of excellent plays in the field. So this is something that head coach Mike Roberts has talked a lot about. Pitching, defense, and making plays in the field, backing up your pitcher, that'll lead to victories, and that was the story last night for the Kettleers.
Yeah, it absolutely was, and it also was the story the last time these two teams played. Cotuit taking advantage of 1 error for Chatham, Cotuit not committing any errors themselves, and playing a great infield is really what they've done a nice job of so far this season. But looking at this field today with another familiar faces in the field we already saw 10 straight games with this infield and Tanner Thatch, Jaron Advincula, Tyler Cerny, Nolan Naraki. This was the infield a night ago. It wasn't 2 nights ago, but they are back kind of getting in the groove of things. What do you think is so valuable about keeping the same infield throughout all these baseball games?
Well, you can see as the season has gone along, they're consistently building chemistry together, and that all starts right up the middle with Tyler Cerny at short and Jaron Advincula at second base. You've seen them turn a lot of double plays together, and of course, having a first baseman like Tanner Thatch, who is so sound defensively, bailing them out when they might not have made the best of throws. But it's just been a great infield, and that chemistry and playing together has allowed them to really play solid defense and not commit errors.
Absolutely. The Kettleers will look to do that in just a few moments. The national anthem from Veterans Field and first pitch after this here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Operating on Cape Cod. Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis. Operating on Cape
Beacon Gardens is a Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Moments away from Veterans Field, Jansen Kiesel will do battle against Tyler Kozera, the two starters in tonight's game. Kiesel, a returner to this roster in 2024 after making 8 appearances for the Kets in 2023, but so far his second start this season. And Alex, what are you looking for today out of Kiesel?
Well, for Jansen Kiesel, in his first start against Wareham, he really did a solid job of limiting walks and limiting the runs. Only allowed 2 walks in 4 innings pitched, struck out 3 batters, and for him, it was getting ahead of hitters and throwing strikes. Through 50 pitches, 33 were for strikes in those 4 innings and allowed just 1 hit. So for Kiesel, it's working and attacking early in the counts and getting ahead of these Chatham hitters.
Yeah, getting ahead of batters is something that we've talked about a lot early in this season and as we get into the middle way of this season. But I mean, getting ahead in the count and being able to be in the driver's seat is something that is so important as a pitcher. But as a hitter, on the other side, as Kettleers are set to get their first appearances against Kozera, how do you combat that?
Well, as a hitter, it's always tough as you don't want to fall behind in the count. You want to be the aggressor in the count and have those 2-1, 3-0, 3-1 counts where you're in the driver's seat and looking for a pitch to attack. But we've seen from this Kettleer lineup all year long, they're not going to wait for the count to go to 3-1 or 3-0. They're going to swing right away at the first few pitches and really make the pitchers come to the zone and throw them first pitch strikes. And if they don't, then they'll lay off. But as a hitter, you have to be aggressive early on in the counts. That's something that we've seen from the Cotuit bats here this season.
Yeah, and especially the man who's in the on-deck circle right now will get his second straight start as the leadoff hitter, Jaron Advincula. He'll face Kozera first. How do the Cats line up against him?
So it is the aforementioned Jaron Advincula leading off. Batting second is the first baseman, Tanner Thatch. Behind the dish and hitting third, Matt Klein. Hitting cleanup and playing left field is Brandon Compton. Hitting fifth and in center field, Kian Vu. Batting sixth and in right field is Charles Davalon. The designated hitter and Cannon Peebles, he will hit seventh. Hitting eighth is the shortstop, Tyler Cerny. And rounding out this Kettleer lineup is the third baseman, Nolan Araki.
A similar lineup to what we saw just a day ago at Lowell Park, with one change. Cannon Peebles getting back into the lineup. He will be the DH today, already started in 1 game so far this season, but he will be down in the lineup at seventh. Advincula will lead things off. Tyler Kozera finishing up his warm-up pitches as he is set to make his 4th appearance of the summer for the Anglers, all of which have been in relief so far. Fashions a 3.18 ERA and 5 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 2 earned runs on 6 hits, with a hit batsman, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. So Advincula will lead things off. The infield will play slightly to the pull side for the left-handed hitter. And Tyler Kozera is ready. The righty from the windup wipes his right hand off of his red jersey once, and now he's ready to go. Brings the glove in front of his face, and the first pitch from Veterans Field is a swing and miss. Jaron Advincula goes down in the count on 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Kozera. And it's 0-1. Some wind, cloudy skies overhead, and the lights are on here at Veterans Field. Plenty of fans still filing their way through. The 0-1 pitch to Advincula ties him up, rolls on the ground towards third. Eli Payton in the grass to throw it, and it's in time to get Advincula there for the first out.
Kozera just running the fastball in on the hands of Advincula, who just slowly dribbles it to the third baseman, and that's how you want to start out for Kozera. Just 2 pitches and getting the first out and getting such a tough out. Jaron Advincula now hitting in the leadoff spot back-to-back games, and such a dangerous hitter, still hitting at a 440 clip.
Now here's Tanner Thatch, another lefty to face Kozera. And Thatch takes low and outside ball 1. Thatch entering this game, a 160 hitter, 8 hits and 50 at-bats. Has struck out 13 times with 11 RBIs. As the 1-0 pitch, he swings and misses at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, was up and inside, and it's 1-1. So it'll be Tyler Kozera. He wasn't supposed to get the start today, but Drake George, they made the switch from him to Kozera before the game as Thatch laces that one through the right side, and it drops in for a base hit. So Tanner Thatch gets the first hit of the ball game for the Kettleers, tagging Kozera, and he is on first with 1 gone.
That was a much-needed base knock for Tanner Thatch. Just 1 hit in his last 5 games. Had really been struggling at the dish, but hopped on a pitch from Kozera and just made no mistake, and now the Kettleers have a runner on first.
Thatch a short lead at first. Now he extends it as Kozera comes set from the stretch. His throw to Klein is inside and called to strike 1. Klein been swinging a hot bat as of late. 7 for 22 on the year, and he gets his 7th start behind the dish tonight. Batting from the left side, the 0-1 pitch from Kozera. He fouls it straight back into the screen. So Klein getting the start again. Roberts has talked a lot about his ability to play in back-to-back nights, back-to-back games, saying how not a lot of college catchers will do that, play 2-3 games in a row. Klein stepped up and done that perfectly. Kozera stepped off the back of the rubber. Now he comes set again. Glove at his belt. The righty deals the 0-2 pitch to Klein. Klein shoots this one straight past the second baseman Lodis and into center field. Thatch moves up to second, and back-to-back singles for the Kets on Kozera. They have 2 on with 1 gone, and Brandon Compton stepping up.
Klein turned around that 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Tyler Kozera and just hit it right up the middle. Just a solid base knock, and now the Kettleers are threatening. And Joe, this is something that they've struggled to do in recent games, get runners on in the first few innings. They've fallen behind in 5 of the last 6 games. Of course, yesterday broke that streak, but this is a big spot here for Brandon Compton and a player who's really starting to heat up at bat.
Yeah, 389-foot home run to right center field last night at Lowell Park. Now a chance here with runners on first and second. Takes a strike 1 low and outside. So Kozera takes the advantage in the count so far. 0-1 the count to Compton. The lefty gets his first look, so they'll go Compton at Arizona State. Kian Vu right behind him in the on-deck circle. Righty on lefty, the 0-1 pitch to Compton. Lifted into straightaway center field. Lazy fly for O'Verne to play. He hauls it down. Thatch thinks about tagging for third. He stops up. We'll go back to second, and there are 2 gone.
And Compton just got underneath that fly ball in the center field. Hit it decently well, but an easy play for the center fielder, O'Verne.
O'Verne playing in center field out of USC. Larson in right. John Bay plays in left field. Eli Patton on the infield at third. Iva Arquette plays shortstop. Kyle Lodis at second base. And Jeff Cantwell plays first as that one is fouled off by Kian Vu towards the on-deck circle. 0-1. So he gets his first looks here on Kozera, who after his freshman campaign pitched in 7 games, had a 1.50 ERA in 12 innings pitched. Season was cut short due to injury. Now the 0-1 to Vu. takes in the dirt, fielded by the catcher Ike Irish out of Auburn. Nice backhand there, and it's 1-1. So Kian Vu, a big opportunity here. He drove in a run in last night's game. Just his third on the summer as the 0-1 pitch. He flares it back and into the screen, 1-2. And maybe a bit surprising for someone who did that a lot this past season at Arizona State with 56 RBIs. Led the conference with a .413 batting average. That was above Travis Bazzana, who was second, right behind him at .407. 1-2 pitch. He rolls it on the ground towards third. Past the reach of Patton. It goes down the left field line. Thatch being waved around and scoring from second. He does so easily, and Kian Vu has given the Kettleers a 1-0 advantage.
And Mike Roberts had talked about post-game just a couple of games ago that Kian Vu was really starting to figure things out at the dish. That was coming off his 2 RBI double at Falmouth. Now, just not trying to do too much. It's a ground ball down the third base line and just avoiding the glove of Eli Patton and easily allowing Tanner Thatch to come in and score.
So now it's Charles Davalon, another lefty. Runners are still on first and second with 2 gone. Davalon likes the first pitch he sees and swats it foul down the left field line. Some wind above Veterans Field, 385 to straightaway center. There's a flagpole directly behind that, blowing towards the right field foul pole, it looks like, which is 314 down the right field line, and it juts out to 340 in the left field corner. 0-1, and Davalon looks at strike 2. So a lot of lefties in the lineup for Mike Roberts, and rightfully so, as it's just 314 down the line in right. Infield playing to the pull side for Davalon. The 0-2 pitch from Kozera. Here it comes. Breaking ball, fanned and strike 3. Davalon goes down on strikes to end the top of the first inning, but not before. Kian Vu drives in Tanner Thatch from second, and the Kets take a 1-0 lead. We send it to the home half of the first here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net. Back from Veterans Field, Cotuit with a 1-0 lead as we go into the bottom of the first inning. And Jansen Kiesel will get his first looks against this Chatham lineup in his second start this summer for the Kettleers. And how will they line up against the righty, Alex?
Leading things off for Chatham is Austin Over, and hitting behind him, the right fielder Ashton Larson. Batting third, the catcher Ike Irish. Hitting cleanup and playing left field, John Bay. Hitting fifth and getting the start at shortstop, Iva Arquette. The third baseman and hitting sixth is Eli Patton. Hitting seventh and starting at second is Kyle Lodise. Hitting eighth and getting the nod at first base is Luke Cantwell. And rounding out this Chatham lineup is the DH, Jaden Davis.
Kiesel across 2 appearances with 1 start so far, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs, all of which have been earned. He has hit a batter, walked 3, and struck out 3 as well. But of course, 2 of those earned runs coming in just a third of an inning appearance in relief, middle relief in a game against Falmouth on June 25th. Cotuit would go on to win that game. Kiesel allowing the only runs in the contest through just 15 pitches, but then responded against Wareham 4 days later, went 4 innings, gave up a run on a hit, 2 walks with 3 Ks. So now Kiesel will be pitching from the windup to Austin Overn with the tan glove just above his belt. Turns into his windup and deals. Breaking ball low and outside. Called a ball 1. That's actually going to be the fastball from Kiesel at 92. Fastball, cutter, curveball, and changeup. He's set again. Over in the lefty. Center fielder takes low and outside, 2-0. So Austin Overn, a way to introduce himself to the Kettleers earlier this summer. 1 pitch, 1 run, 1 home run to deep center field at Lowell Park. Took a 1-0 lead. Cotuit would score 4 unanswered from there and win it 4-1. So they hold the 1-0 advantage so far in the season series. And now the pitch from Kiesel is low and inside. It misses. And now 3-0 to Overn to start him out. Overn already 6 walks on the season, has played in 15 games. This will be his 16th. Is the only player on this team to leg out a triple. Infield and outfield playing straight up, the 3-1. Kiesel gets over the top with the 92 fastball, and it's 3-1. Austin Overn making the move from Orleans to Chatham this summer. Played 38 games for the Firebirds. Now the 3-1. Takes low and outside, and that's his 7th walk of the summer.
Kiesel was pitching over and on the outer portion of the plate, but just didn't have command of his pitches in that first at-bat. Just pushed everything too far off the plate, and good discipline by Overn and as he works the 5-pitch walk.
Yeah, pretty similar strategies between these two managers, Alex. Sheetner and Roberts going at it for the 2nd time. Thatch will hold Overn on at first. And the first pitch here to Ashton Larson is outside and called a ball 1. So putting their team leader and average in the leadoff spot is what both of these guys have done, Roberts and Sheetner. Overn takes his lead at first, and Kiesel checks back there. He dives in standing up. Or excuse me, dives in safely. Wouldn't be standing up. That would be weird. He gets that all-red jersey dirty. They're wearing the red tops for Red Shirt Friday, all white pants for Chatham. Light blue batting helmet. Overn takes off. The throwdown from Klein is not in time. Wow, he wasted no time to get to that second base bag.
Excellent speed by Overn. That's his 6th stolen base of the year. And just got a great jump off Kiesel. And just like that, 2 batters into the game. And Chatham has a runner in scoring position.
That jersey gets even dirtier for Overn for his 6th stolen base of the summer, improves to 6 for 9. Now he takes a big lead at second. Cerny will hold him on there, and Kiesel's 2-0. Tipped into the glove of Klein. Climb the ladder, 90 on the fastball, and it's 2-1. On the infield, Tyler Cerny, as mentioned, out of Indiana. He plays at short. Nolan Naraki gets another start over at third. He's playing even with the bag, a couple feet off the line. As Kiesel comes set, taking a look at second, now the 2-1. Fastball misses. Tanner Thatch plays at first. Jaron Advincula, medium depth second base right now. Brandon Compton gets his 10th straight start in left field with his teammate Kian Vu in center. Charles Davalon plays right. Matt Klein behind the dish, lines up low and outside. Overn takes off. The 3-1 pitch is called a strike 2. And Overn snags his 2nd bag of the inning uncontested. So now the Kets will bring the infield in. Kiesel taking an extra moment here. Getting a crucial second out there on Larson. Excuse me, 2nd strike there as it's 3-2. No outs in the inning, and Kiesel comes set. The payoff pitch. Larson drills this one to straightaway center field. Vu tracking back, settling under it, and on the warning track, he'll pull that down. Overn will score easily from third, and the Anglers have knotted it up at 1-1.
That ball was crushed off the bat of Ashton Larson to the deepest part here at Veterans Field, but Kian Vu tracked it the entire way, battled the lights to put it away for a long fly ball, but Just excellent piece of hitting by Ashton Larson after the 2 stolen bases by Austin Overn. All he had to do was get a ball in the outfield, and Overn would easily score.
Yeah, quality at bat there for Larson, who drives in the first run of this ball game for the Anglers, and the first pitch to Ike Irish is outside 1-0. Irish, another one of the guys on this Anglers roster to make a switch from a Cape League team just a summer ago, making his way from Brewster to Chatham this year as he takes down low 2-0, and that draws Mike Roberts out of his post from the Ketts dugout. So really just struggling to find the zone early on for Kiesel.
13 pitches for Kiesel, just 4 strikes, and that was something that we really saw in his first outing against Falmouth, where he only threw 15 pitches, but threw just 6 strikes and fell behind in all 3 at-bats here, and working from behind in the count. That's something that we talked about to begin the broadcast, how difficult it is for a pitcher to come back and when they're falling behind in a count, but how much of a good situation it is for a hitter. Being up in the count, you can really dictate the at-bats, and you saw that with Ashton Larson. Kiesel fell behind, and he gave that ball a ride. If he pulls it to right field or hits it to left field, it could be a 2-1 ball game. Instead, it's just a 1-1 game. But Kiesel and a smart decision by Roberts here, come out to the mound, settle things down because the game's still early.
Yeah, it was an effortless swing from Ashton Larson and put it nearly to the deepest part of this ballpark. Pretty much the deepest part where you aren't able to hit a home run, right at that 385 sign in center. So Kiesel readies again, and now this one's shot down the right field line off the bat of Iris. He's charging for second after rounding first. The throw in from Davallon is not going to be in time. He beat the throw. Sliding in safely is Ike Irish, and he picks up his second double of the summer.
And Kiesel just left that pitch right down the heart of the plate, and Ike Irish made no mistake, just rocketing that ball into right field and legging out the 2-bagger for his second of the summer.
So here's John Bay, a guy that you definitely want at the plate right now if you're Chatham, trying to take a 2-1 lead here as Kiesel comes set, takes a look at second. The first pitch is hit on the ground towards second base. Jaron Advincula is up with it, throwing to first. The runner will advance to third, but they get their second out of the frame.
That was a pivotal out for Kiesel, and John Bay has really been swinging a hot bat. 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, and with Irish standing in scoring position, a nice job by Kiesel just to get the weak contact and pick up a crucial second out.
Runner just 90 feet away, but 2 outs in the inning. Kiesel still working from the stretch. His pitch is a breaking ball, called to strike 1 on the outer half. The batter is Iva Arquette. He's playing in his 16th game for Chatham today. 14 for 50 so far on the year. The 0-1. Takes it ankle height, count evens up. Arquette out of Washington hit .325 there this past season. Started all 48 games that he played in and had a .574 slugging percentage to go along with that. 12 homers. 1-1 pitch. Takes a breaking ball again. This time it's too far inside. 2-1. So far this summer has 1 home run. That's his only extra base hit, but 13 singles. One of those would do just fine right now to score the second run. It's Ike Irish standing just 90 feet away. Kiesel trying to get out of this first inning. The 2-1 pitch is a fastball rolled towards the on-deck circle of Chatham. 2-2. Eli Payton awaits on deck there on the third base side. Chatham, Cotuit on the first base side. Decent amount of foul room behind home plate, but it gets skinnier as you go down either baseline. Both bullpens down either baseline towards the right and left field corners. And a packed house here at Veterans Field today. Kiesel comes set. The 2-2 pitch to Iva Arquette. Here it comes. Breaking ball launched to deep left field, and that one's headed for the trees. A 2-run blast for Iva Arquette puts the Anglers up 3-1 here in this bottom of the first inning. An absolute blast off the bat of Arquette, his second homer of the summer.
Kiesel hung a breaking pitch right down the heart of the plate. Arquette waited back on it and just made no mistake blasting that to deep left center field. And we're talking about the power not really being there. 14 singles, just 1 home run, but boy, that ball was absolutely crushed.
Now here's Eli Payton. Kiesel will have to refocus and throw to the lefty third baseman. He takes low and outside. Strike one. Went to the changeup there at 86 miles an hour. Infield, outfield playing straight up. Lights are on here at Veterans Field. The 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball. He watches it go by, and Payton evens the count at 1-1. 100 miles an hour off the bat, 388 feet off the bat of Iva Arquette. Over that 357-foot sign into the trees in left center. As a 1-1 pitch from Kiesel to Patton. It's in there, 1-2. Went back to the fastball, and now he's a strike away from ending this abysmal first inning for Jansen Kiesel. From the windup, base is empty. The 1-2. Fastball cut on and missed, strike three. So Kiesel is able to escape the bottom of the first inning, not before giving up a 2-run home run and another additional run for the Anglers to take a 3-1 lead as we go to the top of the second here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
Back from Veterans Field, bottom of the Kettleers lineup will face Tyler Kozera, who's into his windup and throwing. A first pitch to Cannon Peebles, who's a switch hitter, batting from the left side, and he takes ball one. 7, 8, and 9 this inning for Kozera, who brings the black glove in front of his face and goes into the windup again as the 1-0 pitch is hit hard down the left field line. A high fly ball, a sliding stab by John Bay, who was near the line but couldn't come down with it. Geez, it looked like from our perspective that one was twisting way out of play, but Bay still had a play on it. Nearly came down with it.
John Bay ran a long way to nearly haul on that ball, went into a slide, but just trapped it in his glove. So a heck of an effort, but couldn't come up with the grab.
So Cannon Peebles making the switch from number 26 to number 3. In the all maroon road Cotuit jerseys with the white pinstripe pants, he has the pants pulled up just beneath the knees, showing off those all maroon socks. Has that barrel rested on his left shoulder, and now he is ready. And the pitch is low and outside. Called a strike 2. So Peebles last year wearing number 17. Making the switch to 26 at the start of this year, and now number 3. Left-hand side, the 1-2 pitch. He goes after it and comes up empty at the 92-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs from Kozera, who collects his second straight strikeout.
Just a nice job by Kozera elevating the fastball as Peebles expands his zone and strikes out for the third time in 4 at-bats so far on the summer.
Yeah, difficult start for Cannon Peebles, who's now 0 for 1 today. Tyler Cerny's the new batter, sends a roller towards Patton, who gloves it and throws across his body from deep third. It goes over the first baseman's head. Collecting it there behind him is Lodice, and Tyler Cerny beats that out for an infield single.
A nice stab by the third baseman Payton there, just going on the backhand, going into a slide, but the throw just high pulling Cantwell off the base. And nice shot by Cerny putting in a ball in play and picking up a much-needed hit because, Joe, although he's been hitting the ball well, just not seeing the results.
Yeah, it's very true. A guy who's really torn the cover off the ball, you can say at times, but it really just hasn't been finding those gaps on the infield. That time, Cerny able to put one on the ground. That's a tough enough play for Patton to make. He nearly did. But tough to get Cerny running up that first base line. He stands there at first. First pitch missed low to Nolan Naraki, so he's in the driver's seat 1-0. Facing Kozera for the first time. Naraki, the 9-man in the order. The 1-0. Cerny takes off for second. Naraki swats it foul. High and down the right field line. Some kids will chase after it. Plenty of fans just beyond the Kettleers dugout, sitting with their lawn chairs up against the fence, kind of similarly to what we see at Lowell Park, but a very different amphitheater type area around home plate where you walk downstairs to get to field level. We are located right above that grandstand section, looking up the first base line, just to the right of the press box. 1-1 pitch to Naraki. Takes low, backhanded by Irish, and it's 2-1. Flag in center field, whipping away towards right. It's all trees in left field with the Chatham Anglers scoreboard standing just above John Bay, who plays in medium depth left field. The trees will jut all the way out towards behind center field, and then an all grassy berm from there as that one's shot down the left field line and foul. Naraki was all over it, but can't straighten it out. It's 2-2. An all grassy berm above the right field fence with fans there in their beach towels, lawn chairs. A lot of people here. Likely gets the most attendance of any Cape League team in any Cape League field. The 2-2 pitch to Naraki is fanned at and missed. Strike 3. So chases after a high fastball once more, and Kozera finds his third K.
Kozera once again elevating the fastball to get the swing and miss there. That's the second time this inning. You've seen him go with the high fastball, and the Kettleers just not laying off on it. As Kozera really starting to put things together after struggling and giving up 3 hits in the top of the first.
So now it's Jaron Advincula, the top of the order with 2 gone. Corners are in. And the stretch throw from Kozera is fouled straight back into the net. So we saw Tyler Cerny take off on the second pitch to Nolan Naraki. Since then hasn't attempted to steal in this inning. We'll see if they turn that on here with 2 gone and now 1 strike on Advincula. Advincula entering today with a league-leading .440 batting average. 0-1 pitch, going to have to wait. Kozera checks back at first, and Cerny's standing up. Advincula 22 hits in 50 tries, 3 of which have gone for extra bases. And a staggering 4-3 strikeout to walk ratio. A guy who's only struck out 3 times. Good reason as to why he's elevated himself to the leadoff spot. 0-1, takes low and outside. And that's really great for Advincula, who's coming off of a monster campaign at Cal as a freshman. So we've seen some guys who have great years, but then you kind of struggle to carry it into the summer. Advincula has not experienced that one bit. As the 1-1 pitch, he reaches out over the plate and fouls it straight back.
He's been especially great over the last 8 games, 15 for 28, driving in 5 of his 7 RBIs, just doing everything that Mike Roberts and company have asked from him.
Cerny with a very short lead at first. Now he extends it, and they'll check back at him there. But he's back in standing up. So Kozera paying close attention to him, especially after having that stolen base attempt. Would have been the first stolen base of the game today for the Kets. 2 already for Chatham, both owned by Austin Overn, who stands in center field. So Kozera is ready with his 1-2, and they'll check at Cerny again. Overcast skies overhead, pretty windy here at Chatham. Some rain earlier this morning, but they deemed the field dry enough and in good condition to play this game. Cerny back into first, standing up again. Of course, the fog can always be an issue here at Chatham. Looks like no signs of it so far today, but can't speak too soon. Kozera's 1-2. Advincula goes after it and fouls it straight back once more.
Kozera really keeping a close eye on Tyler Cerny, who leads this Kettleer squad with 3 stolen bases. Also has a lot of speed and definitely a guy to give you something to think about and not the hitter that you want to have up at the dish with Jaron Advincula, who's swinging such a hot bat.
Infield playing him straight up. And now the 1-2 pitch once more from Kozera is a breaking ball that falls in too far outside, 2-2. Tried to bring it in the back door at 83. Kozera can't get the call, and it's 2-2. Call made by the home plate umpire, Joe Labella. He stands behind the dish in front of this 2-2 count. Advincula awaits. Now lifts this one on a one-hopper towards second. Lodis waits for it and now fields it and throws to get Advincula at first for his second ground out of the game. The Kettleers will leave one runner on first base and score no more runs as they trail 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the second here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street.
7, 8, and 9 will face Jansen Kiesel here in the bottom of the second. Chatham Anglers lead it 3-1 as the wind is picking up towards straightaway center field now. Still overcast skies overhead. And the first pitch to Kyle Lodis. He takes a 92-mile-an-hour fastball outside for ball 1. So Lodis facing the Kettleers once more. Got the start at shortstop the last time these two teams played. Now takes a strike 1. That time on the fastball again at the bottom of the zone, and Lodis evens it up at 1-1. So far, 12 hits on the season. 1-1 pitch. He takes a strike again. So 3 straight fastballs here from Kiesel. That one right down the heart of the plate, and it's 1-2. Lodis, a .267 hitter. The righty awaits. 1-2 pitch is called a ball 2. So 4 straight fastballs here to Lodis to start off this bottom of the second inning, and Jansen Kiesel really trying to settle things down after giving up 3 runs on 2 hits in the bottom of the first. 2-2. Fouled straight back. So what does Kiesel really need to do differently here? We saw him get ahead in the count. I know that's huge, but what else could be there?
I think just throw the pitches that you feel that you have the most command of, and right now it's been the fastball. He's really worked it against Lodis here. Gave up the 2-run shot to Arquette on a breaking ball that he just hung right down the heart of the plate.
2-2. Lodis sends a high chopper towards third. Naraki by the bag, throwing. It's up the line and in and out of the glove of Tanner Thatch, who collided with Lodis for a second there. Everyone is okay, but Lodis will be safe at first with the infield single. We'll see how they score that, actually. But nonetheless, he'll be on first, and that is going to be charged an error on the Ketts infield.
The throw from Naraki pulled Thatch off the bag, and as he collided with Lodis, that ball came free. A tough play for Naraki to glove it on the backhand, right by the third base bag. But just couldn't make an accurate throw.
They'll pick off towards Lodis at first. He's on the bag standing. Luke Cantwell is the batter. Also playing in his 16th game for the Anglers this season, a .250 hitter from the left side. He'll have to wait for the first one from Kiesel, who looks back at first again. Lodis, not a massive stolen base threat, 1 for 2 on the season so far. Has a short lead there as he's being held on by Thatch. Kiesel's first pitch to Cantwell is a fastball at 86 outside 1-0. Could have been the changeup. So he falls behind in the count once more. Kiesel, a very effective pitcher when he's been able to hit the box at a high clip. Checks back at first again. Last season was the Week 8 CCBL Pitcher of the Week with 9 straight innings without an earned run. And a massive reason because of that was his low walk count during that stretch. And that was in late July, where the Kettleers needed to pile on some wins and get their offense rolling, get their pitching, most importantly, ready for the playoffs. And Kiesel did just that, settling in as one of the best starters for the Kettleers last summer. Making his return this year, and his second start not going the way he planned, as the 1-0 pitch is swung at and missed. So 1-1 the count to Luke Cantwell. It's amazing, just 2 pitches thrown to him, but he's been at the plate for a while. A couple of pickoffs towards first, something we saw from Kozera last inning as well. Pitchers really taking their time out there. He comes set from the stretch, the 1-1, and he'll check back at first again. Standing up is Lodis.
It's the 5th pickoff attempt from Jansen Kiesel, so definitely keeping a close eye of Kyle Lodis, who reached down the error, who was charged to the first baseman, Tanner Thatch.
1-1 pitch. Cantwell looks at a fastball low and away, 2-1. Yeah, uncharacteristic error made there by Tanner Thatch. He's played a really solid first base for the Kettleers and has been really the only true first baseman on this roster since the early stages of the season. As the 2-1 pitch to Cantwell, he takes outside once more, and it's 3-1. Nobody warming in the Kettleers bullpen down the right field line. Still no outs in this inning, and he'll look back at first again. This time Lodis is diving back in safely, getting those all white pants dirty. Has the pants pulled up just beneath the knees, showing off the royal blue Anglers socks. They have an all blue batting helmet with a red bill and the Chatham Anglers A on the front of it. As the 3-1 pitch is taken for a ball outside, the runner was going. It didn't matter though. Cantwell's on his way to first with a 5-pitch walk.
Kiesel once again trying to attack on the outside part of the plate, just pushing those fastballs off the plate, and Cantwell wisely laying off as fell behind once again in the at-bat, and that's been a common theme early on for Jansen Kiesel.
So Jansen Kiesel will deal with runners on first and second with nobody out in this bottom of the second. Cotuit already trailing 3-1 in this ball game. He looks at second, now goes into his stretch and throws a low and outside breaking ball for a called strike 1. So that's exactly what you need there from Kiesel to start off Davis with a strike. Just finished up his season at Vanderbilt, and now he takes inside 1-1. Hit .315 there. 53 hits with a 36 run driven in and 18-21 walk to strikeout ratio. To just have 3 more strikeouts than walks during your college season, pretty impressive. Kiesel will take a look at second. Tag from Advincula, who had to lunge to his left to get it. In time safely is Lodis, and there's still a 1-1 count. Runners are on first and second for Jaden Davis. Davis 7 for 44 so far this season, batting 9th today. Kiesel set. The 1-1 pitch to him. He fouls it straight back into the screen. Played some summer ball last year, did Davis. Behind in the count here at 1-2. Kiesel will look back at second. That one pops out of the glove of Advincula. It nearly goes into center field, but it falls down at his feet. Played in the Valley League 25 games, 17 driven in with 28 hits. A good summer for him. Trying to translate that good year to the Cape League as the 1-2 pitch is fouled straight back again. Has had slightly a rocky start to the summer though, 159. Still looking for his first extra base hit, but has driven in 3. And right here with runners on first and second, a big opportunity to make a big difference in this lineup as the 1-2 pitch from Kiesel. They'll look back at second again, and Advincula receives it. In standing is Lodi, so paying a lot of attention on the bases as they're trying to buy some time, and Mike Roberts will walk out to the mound. But still nobody warming up in the bullpen.
And it's interesting, Jansen Kiesel has tried to pick off Kyle Lodis maybe 7 or 8 times so far in this inning, so definitely keeping a close eye on him, but no one warming up yet for the Kettleers. So as it stands right now, this is Jansen Kiesel's ball game to work in and out of trouble. But even though Jaden Davis has struggled so far this summer, like you mentioned, Joe, hitting just 159 in his first year at Sanford, he recorded a hit in 37 straight games. That is absurdly impressive, and just a really talented guy, of course, at 315 this past year at Vanderbilt. So even though he's hitting 159 this summer, this is a dangerous spot for Jansen Kiesel, who got ahead in the count, has a 1-2 count here, just looking for that one put-away pitch to pick up a crucial out, number 1.
Yeah, it was an all-Southern Conference first-teamer. And then had hit the transfer portal, headed to Vanderbilt. And now with the mound visit over, he is ready to face this 1-2 count. Jaden Davis, the designated hitter, from deep in the right side of the batter's box. The 1-2 pitch. Kiesel throws. It misses everything, goes back to the backstop. Klein scurries back to get it, but both runners will advance into scoring position.
I don't think that's what Jansen Kiesel wanted to do, is that pitch just got away from the catcher, Matt Klein, and takes away the double play threat as now it's runners on second and third, and Cotuit bringing the infield once more.
Jaden Davis, a big opportunity here as Kiesel comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Watches it all the way into the glove of Matt Klein. It was too low on the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Count full to Davis. So the Kettleers having to pull the infield in for the second time in as many innings in this ball game. Down 3-1. 2 runners in scoring position for the Anglers. The payoff pitch. Launched into the glove of Nolan Naraki, leaping up at third to make the play, and he hauls it down for a crucial first out of the bottom of the second.
What a grab by Nolan Naraki at the hot corner there, elevated up in the air and just made an incredible grab. And if he doesn't make that catch, that ball is destined down for the left field line, easily scores 2 runs. And we're talking about a 5-1 ball game, so a 2-run saving catch there by Naraki. And talk about momentum a lot. And Joe, for a Kettleers team that's struggling early on, and for Jansen Kiesel, that's a momentum boosting play.
Absolutely, but still some work to do with 1 out in this inning. Austin Overn takes the ball low and outside, 1-0. Also a big opportunity for Overn, who isn't someone who has had a rocky start to his summer. A 351 hitter, 20 hits so far this season. Leading this roster in average, and now he fans and misses at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball to go back to 1-1. Tied for first on this team going into this game with Iva Arquette, but Arquette with a 2-run home run last inning. Pop up just out of play and twisting foul. Austin Overn now behind in the count 1-2. So last time Kiesel able to get ahead in the count on Davis, but still lost him. Brought the count to 3-2, but was able to rely on his defense to get that first out. That's all he needs to do here as the 1-2 pitch is upcoming. Overn swings and misses, strike 3. Perfect pitch from Jansen Kiesel, an untouchable fastball low in the zone. And Overn goes down on strikes, back-to-back outs for Kiesel in this second inning.
That was perfectly placed by Kiesel there. Right on the outside part of the plate there as Auvergne just waves through the 94-mile-an-hour fastball and 2 crucial outs for Kiesel here with 2 runners in scoring position.
Now Ashton Larson, already just 1 RBI so far on the summer in 8 games played, and big opportunity here as he checks his swing, launches it towards the Chatham dugout, and foul. As the lights are on here at Veterans Field, more and more fans piling their way into this ballpark. Straightaway center field all the way around home plate and standing up behind it. As there's a big swing and miss to get Ashton Larson back to 0-2. So talking about a momentum boosting inning. You go back to that line drive caught by Naraki, a big strikeout on Auvergne, and a chance to strand 2 runners in scoring position here. Kiesel set. His 0-2 offering to Larson. Takes low and away, and it's 1-2. So with the count 1-2, infield, outfield straight up. Runners on second and third take their leads. The pitch. Larson watches it go up and away at 95, 2-2. So Kiesel ticking up the fastball a little bit, up to 95 there. See the outfield shifted to the left for the left-handed hitter Larson, who's now even the count at 2-2. Kiesel's pitch is fouled straight back into the netting. Good look for Chatham with the Redshirt Friday uniforms. Camo Cape Cod script across the front of it, the camo number on the back and on the front, but to go along with the royal blue helmet with the socks and white pants, not a bad look.
Definitely a good color combination.
Kiesel's 2-2 again. High leg kick he deals, and it's upstairs, 3-2. Ashton Larson with a sacrifice fly to straightaway center field his last time up. That was actually his second RBI on his young season. 11 hits so far, 2 doubles. Kiesel's 3-2. Here it comes. Larson powers this one high into right field. It holds up in the wind for Charles Davalon, though, who pulls it down for out number 3. So Jansen Kiesel allows an error and a walk to start off this inning, but is able to escape it, stranding 2 runners in scoring position. As the score remains 3-1 as we go to the top of the third. But now we're going to check in for the first time today with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman. What do you have for us, Adele?
Team USA guys back in town. We've got Devin Taylor, Max Ballou, Brooks Bryan, and Joey Volcho. And we hope to see them back on that field later on in the week. Let's talk about some of the highlights that they had at Team USA. We had Brooks Bryan with a grand slam against Chinese Taipei on July 3rd. Max Ballou on July 30th with 2 RBI base hit. And Volcho struck out 7, allowed 1 hit, and this was all over 4 innings. So a very successful run at Team USA for these guys. Devin Taylor also showed them what he had. And so we're very thankful to have them back with us here at Cotuit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those guys being able to play for the national team and Team USA, just a super cool experience for them, but to also see them perform so well is really cool.
That's exactly right. And we've talked about it throughout the early part of the season, all these guys having such a big impact here in Cotuit, but just so awesome that they get the opportunity to represent their country and showcase their skills on such a big stage.
And play alongside so many fellow Cape Leaguers, too. Pretty cool to see kind of that familiarity, but also super awesome to have them back. And we know that a lot of those guys, Adele, you probably talked to them, they really wanted to come back, some of them, others not being able to return. But for those who are, have you talked to them and just how excited they are to return to this roster?
Yeah, I saw some of them as we arrived at Lowell Park getting ready to come here. They were getting on the bus, and, you know, they were super excited to be back, and there was just a huge smile on all their faces. And so that just felt good that Cotuit brings something so special that they're looking forward to coming back from such an amazing experience to be here at Lowell Park.
And continue to play some great baseball, we hope, as Tanner Thatch fouls one off into deep foul territory here at Veterans Field. And that play is made by the third baseman Eli Payton. Deep into foul territory beyond the third base dugout of Chatham. And Tanner Thatch is retired for the first out of this inning. Geez, what a play there by the third baseman, who clearly knows his ballpark well.
Peyton was running out of room right down that left field line, but followed the ball the entire way and just made a heck of a grab for the first out of the inning, and thought that ball was destined to reach the crowd, but Peyton brings it back.
Here's Matt Klein. He checks his swing, went around about 60% and is down 0-1. Cotuit with 3 singles in that first inning. Able to plate 1 run. It was Tanner Thatch, so he goes back to 1 for 2. Matt Klein also with a single. So they put 2 runners on with 1 gone against Kozera, who's back out there for his 3rd inning of work. Throws a ball that bounces in there, and Klein has the count at 1-1. But a big at bat there for Matt Klein, who has just been a phenomenal batter at the plate to go along with his great catching prowess behind the dish. And the 1-1 pitch is on the outer corner, 1-2. Barely catches the zone. Paint job there by the catcher. Klein from the left side. The 1-2 pitch to him is a fastball low and in. Matt Klein 1 for 3 yesterday. Didn't get the start against Bourne on July 3rd, as that one's hit hard on the ground towards first base. Back for it Cantwell. He will underhand toss to Kozera, who is covering the bag, and it's in time to get Klein there for the second out.
Kozera just inducing weak contact against Klein here, just rolling over on a ground ball that Kozera easily covers the bag for the second out of the inning.
So with 2 gone, here's Brandon Compton, another lefty in this lineup. That was working really well the first rotation around the order, but Kozera has really figured things out. Throws a breaking ball low and inside to Brandon Compton. 1-0. So more on what Adele was mentioning. Devin Taylor making his return to the roster. Max Ballou. 1-0. In there for a strike 1. Great to see Taylor back, guy who was tearing the cover off the ball when he was here for a short stint. Now the 1-1 to Compton. Kozera throws another breaking ball inside, finds the dirt, and it's 2-1.
Taylor, like you mentioned, Joe, got off to such a hot start. Belted the first home run for the Kettleers. That came back in Game 2 against Orleans. Hit .313 through 6 games.
2-1 pitch is taken low and away.
Also tallied a triple against Brewster, so flashing the power, and that was something that we saw at Indiana this past year. Hit 20 home runs, drove in 54 RBIs while hitting .357. Just a complete package at the dish.
Yeah, I could see the ball really well, and Brandon Compton now trying to look that one away for a ball 4. Called a strike 2, and the count full. Kozera working quickly, brings the glove in front of his face and throws the payoff pitch. Compton checks his swing. They check back at third. He did not go. So Brandon Compton heads to first with a full count walk. And he reaches for the first time today and just continues his on-base streak where he has reached in every single game played.
Just a good at-bat by Compton there, and thought he went around, but that ball ricocheted from the catcher. But of course, the appeal down to the third base umpire, Rick Antonio. Compton laid off, but even if it was called a strike 3, that ball ricocheted so far, I believe Compton probably would have legged that out for a drop third strike.
Short lead at first, thinking about extending it though, as Kozera from the stretch throws to Vu, who checks his swing, but it's a called strike 1 anyway. Vu an RBI single his last time up. Broken bat down the opposite line for him, past third, and it brought home the first run of the game, but Cotuit giving up 3 unanswered from Chatham since then. He goes after a high fastball and falls back 0-2 in the count. So Vu with 2 outs in this inning, the infield and outfield playing straight up. Compton stays put at first as the next pitch is released outside, 1-2. Vu still behind in the count, has that barrel of the bat pointed towards the ground, but now he lifts it up, and the 1-2 pitch, he fouls it straight back and over our heads, out of play. Vu, as mentioned earlier, a .413 batting average this past season at Arizona State. That was in the top 5 in the entire country, of course, leading the Pac-12. And it was an interesting year for Vu. He actually wasn't set to be a starter for Arizona State after his modest freshman performance. As the next pitch to him, he barely gets a piece on an emergency swing, and it's 1-2. But got his opportunity when Nick McLean, who played for the Gatemen last summer in Wareham, suffered a hand injury just days before their season opener against Santa Clara. So they needed somebody to replace him in right field. Vu did that and hit .429 through his first 7 games of the season. Now the 1-2 pitch to him. Takes up and inside, nearly clipped his jersey, and it's 2-2.
There's a good battle brewing here between Kozera and Vu. Vu with a couple of foul balls. The 7 pitch upcoming here.
The 2-2. Kozera throws and picks up his 4th strikeout of the outing. Kian Vu chases after an 83-mile-an-hour breaking ball low and outside, and the Kettleers will strand 1 runner on in this top of the 3rd inning. Still trailing 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd on the Kettleers radio network.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Kiesel's first pitch of the bottom of the 3rd inning is down low in the bottom of the zone for a strike one. Apologize for coming back a couple seconds late. Really trying to pump out this ball game as the 0-1 pitch from Kiesel in there for a called strike 2. So he gets ahead in the count once more. This time it's against Ike Irish. Tall left-handed hitter, hit a double his last time up, and now he swats one foul high and out of play. Just over our heads to stay alive at 0-2. So Ike Irish, a roped double down the right field line all the way into the right field corner where one Kettleers relief arm is warming up. It's the lefty Harrison Bodendorf. Kiesel is back on the mound though. The 0-2 pitch is fanned at and strike 3. Ike Irish goes down swinging for the 3rd swinging strikeout of the day for Jansen Kiesel.
It's the first time today that Chatham's leadoff man has been retired, and Jansen Kiesel, after that line drive snag by the 3rd baseman Nolan Araki, has gotten the last 4 hitters out, so definitely starting to get into a groove here.
His first pitch to John Bay is low and outside. Called a strike 1 though. Able to find the box with the first one once more through just 3 pitches to Ike Irish, and a good start to this bottom of the 3rd for him. As the next pitch misses down and outside to the right-handed swinging John Bay. It's 1-1. So Bay getting his second looks on Kiesel. He grounded out to second his last time up. Was able to advance both runners though. Righty fans and misses at a pitch up in the zone at 92 from Kiesel, and he's in the driver's seat once more. .365 hitter at Austin Peay this past season in 55 games was Bay, and now he launches this one straight up the middle into center field. It takes a one hop into the glove of Kian Vu. That one was smoked off the bat of John Bay, who improves to 1 for 2. And the Anglers will have a runner on first with one gone.
The ball just exploded off the bat of John Bay there, and Jansen Kiesel got ahead of him, just left the fastball right down the heart of the plate, and Bay made no mistake.
Now here's Iva Arquette, tall right-handed bat, playing shortstop today. Cuts at and misses the first pitch he sees. Arquette playing in 48 games this past season at Washington. As mentioned before, 12 homers, 36 driven in. Was able to notch 68 hits. Now he takes a strike 2. So far, 14 hits on the summer. One of them has left the yard, and that was until today. A 2-run blast in the first inning for his second on the summer. But now down here in the count, 0-2 with the runner on first. Now he tips into the glove of Matt Klein, and it's the 4th swinging K of the day for Jansen Kiesel. So a massive second out in this bottom of the 3rd inning with the runner still on first. Here comes Eli Payton.
Kiesel's done a much better job getting ahead of hitters here. Of course, picking up the 2 strikeouts in the inning of Irish and Arquette, but going with the fastball to get the punch outs.
Yeah, has been high fastball in this 3rd inning especially, and in the 2nd. But a big swing and miss here on Eli Payton. Gets him in the head, ahead in the count once more. Payton with his 5th strikeout of the season, his last time up. So far is 1 for 8. Now he fouls one straight back into the screen, and he's down 0-2. So Kiesel doing a great job of getting ahead in the count on these pitchers. And as mentioned last year with the Week 9 CCBL Pitcher of the Week, nearly 60% of his pitches then were for strikes. And for Kiesel, that was a great clip for someone who struggled with the walks as he picks up his 5th strikeout of the night here. A swing and a miss on Eli Payton. He goes down on strikes. 3rd strikeout of the 3rd inning for Jansen Kiesel. They'll strand a runner on first, and it's 3-1 as we go to the 4th on the Cats Radio Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Charles Davalon will lead things off for the Kettleers here in the top of the 4th inning. They trail 3-1. Davalon, the 6th hitter in the order. He struck out his last time up facing Tyler Kozera, who's back on the bump and pitching from the windup. His first one is just outside for a ball 1. So Kozera in his first start of the summer has pitched going into this game just beneath 6 innings as the 1-0 pitch to Davalon is hit hard and high down the right field line towards the Cats bullpen. Still going back towards the grassy berm and foul. So that one could have kept on carrying and potentially been a home run for Davalon. Appeared to be just a weak pop-up in foul territory. Given a ride, it's 1-1. Infield and outfield playing straight up for the left-handed hitting right fielder, facing Kozera for the second time. Kozera's 1-1 offering. Davalon flicks it back into the screen. So I mentioned earlier Tyler Kozera pitching in 7 games this past season at Central Florida. Missed the first half of the season due to injury, but got back into the rotation and made an immediate difference as the 1-2 pitch to Davallon is flicked off the end of the bat and foul over the press box to our left and out of play. But fashioned a 1.50 ERA, which is the best amongst all Central Florida pitchers. Now the 1-2 from Kozera. Davallon checks his swing. They'll look at third, and he did not go. So staying alive, and the count is 2-2. Kozera allowing just 2 runs throughout those seven appearances. 5 of his 7 appearances, he didn't give up a single run, as that one's fouled off the front foot of Davallon, and it's 2-2 still.
Got a battle brewing here between Davallon and Kozera. 4 foul balls here, and the 7th pitch upcoming.
Charles Davallon awaits the 2-2, goes after it, and fouls it off the end of his bat. Of course, being from Quebec, Montreal, got to remember, get that accent mark over the last day. Charles Davallon playing his high school ball down in Florida, though, so no stranger to college and summer baseball as he lifts this one high towards left field. John Bay was tracking forward initially and now settles under it in medium depth left to pull down the first out of the 4th.
Those are the type of at-bats that Cotuit needs to string together. 8 at-bats. I know it didn't result in a base knock for Davallon, but making Tyler Kozera work more out on the mound. He's now up to 61 pitches through 3 1/3. And this is exactly what they need to do. See more pitches and maybe something starts to click at bat.
So Tyler Kozera gets the first out in his 4th inning of work and now throws to Cannon Peebles, switch hitter batting left, takes a strike 1 low. Tyler Kozera out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but supports the San Diego Padres. Brings that black glove in front of his face, the 0-1. Peebles launches that one to straightaway center field, charging in Austin Overn, goes into a dive, and he makes the play. Lunging forward and to his left, Austin Overn robs Cannon Peebles of what could have been his first hit of the 2024 summer.
Peebles hit that ball on a rope, just Austin Overn making a really nice play out in center field, going into a dive and hauling that ball in for spectacular out number 2.
A great play there, and Kozera has held the Kettleers to 4 hits and nearly completing his 4th inning of work. He throws a pitch low in the zone towards Tyler Cerny, the new batter. From the right side, he's 1 for 1 with a single and now down in the count 0-1. The next pitch taken in a similar spot, this time too low, 1-1 to Cerny. So that breaks a streak where he was going 2 for 25 in his last few games. And now he belts this one down the left field line, twisting towards the corner, and foul. And nearly collects his first homer of the summer. Just a couple feet to the left of that pole. You think that would have been enough?
I think it would have been just short, but most likely it would have been his 4th double of the season. Cerny just a tad out in front. Had to wait a couple of seconds back on the pitch from Kozera.
Now Cerny from the right side, the 1-2 pitch. He gets ahead of that one, rolls it on the ground in between the third and shortstop, and into left field for a base hit. Tyler Cerny improves to 2 for 2 on the day. And so after that difficult stretch, a great performance so far today.
2 really encouraging bats from Tyler Cerny here. Singled in both of them. That ball well hit into the left field, right in between the third baseman and shortstop, and into left field as even the swing before hit that ball on a rope, just pulled it a tad foul.
So he takes a short lead at first. Nolan Naraki is the batter. He struck out last time and now rolls it foul past third base. Yeah, Cerny with a team leading 3 doubles going into this game. I gotta feel good for him, who really hasn't changed too much up at the plate, has really hit the ball well. This time he's just finding a way to squeeze it through. And now 2 for 2 on the day as the 0-1 pitch here to Nolan Naraki is called a strike 2. Down in the zone at 90. And now once again, Kozera is one strike away from getting out of this fourth. Middle infielders playing back. Peyton even with the bag at third. Cantwell holds on Cerny there. Outfield playing straight up. From the stretch, here's the pitch from Kozera. It's sent on a chopper towards shortstop. Two-hopper to Arquette, who throws on the run. A high throw, but it's hauled down by Cantwell. And in time to get Naraki running up that first base line. So once more, the Kettleers will strand one runner on base for the third inning in a row. Really trying to manufacture some offense. They'll try to do that once more in the top of the fifth, but not before Jansen Kiesel will take to the mound for his fourth inning of work. Ketts trailing 3-1 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. Back for the bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 count here to the leadoff man for the Anglers as Kiesel is back out there working through his fourth inning of work now. And now gets a big swing and miss on Kyle Lodise, who's back to 1-1. Lodise reached on an error his last time up in the second inning. And the second baseman saws one off, sends a twisting pop-up towards the right field line, and Charles Davalon is there. Didn't even have to take a step, maybe one to his left, but he pulls down the first out. So a quick out to start off this fourth inning for Kiesel, and that's really exactly what he needs, because we'll see how long Mike Roberts lets him go into this ball game, but already at 70 pitches.
That's what he did last inning in the bottom of the third. Got 3 punch outs, but really did a nice job attacking early in the count and getting ahead of hitters.
He gets ahead here, 0-1 on Luke Cantwell. Threw 50 pitches in his last start. Now from the windup, working fast. Gets a big swing and miss there, and Cantwell's back to 0-2. So since that first inning, Jansen Kiesel doing a phenomenal job of getting ahead in counts. 0-2. High pop-up down the left field line. Some foul territory for Naraki to make his way into, but he overran it. Was caught between checking for how much space he had and checking where the baseball was, but overrunning it by just a few feet, and that one falls just to the left of him. And the count remains 0-2. The tall trees above the scoreboard in left field, pushing towards the right field corner. Same with the flag in center as the next pitch misses outside. 1-2 to Luke Cantwell. Reached on a walk his last time up, part of a second inning where the Anglers put their 2 leadoff men on base, but they were both stranded. And the next pitch is up and inside. Called a ball 2. Cantwell, .333 hitter this past season at Pitt. 44 driven in. 2-2 pitch. Slow roller on the ground towards second, but that one went off of his front foot. And he's in some pain. He has that blue ankle guard on the right foot, but clearly he missed it.
Cantwell went down in pain immediately, grimacing after hitting that foul ball right off of his front foot there. But he will stay in the game, just about set to dig in once more.
Yeah, home plate umpire giving him an extra few seconds. And now he's ready to go. The 2-2 pitch from Jansen Kiesel. From the windup, he hits it off the end of his bat. Charging in is the left fielder Brandon Compton by the line. He's called off by Cerny, who can't make the play.
It was a tough play for Tyler Cerny there. Tracked it the entire way. Just ball kind of fell in between him, the third baseman Nolan Araki, and the left fielder Brandon Compton. But Cerny went into a slide, just couldn't haul in a long fly ball.
Kiesel, the 2-2 again. And this one launched the same direction, way further out of play, though, and Cantwell remains alive at 2-2. A lot of fans at Veterans Field today. All around behind home plate. We are, of course, above the grandstands, kind of, just to the right of the press box. Looking down at the field, and that one's roped on the ground towards Advincula. Sliding stab to his left. Up with it, throwing to first for the second out. That's a difficult play made by Jaron Advincula, but he made it look easy.
Really pretty play by Jaron Advincula there in the ninth pitch of the at-bat to Luke Cantwell, as Cantwell hit it hard, but Advincula going to a slide and making the play for out number 2.
Jansen Kiesel ready with the glove at his belt. Throws from the windup, low and outside, 1-0. It's a great place to take in a game if you ever have the opportunity at Veterans Field. Pretty much anywhere around this ballpark, it's a great setup to watch a baseball game. Behind home plate and deep right, down either baseline. Kiesel's 1-0 to Jaden Davis is tipped into the glove of Klein, 1-1. Definitely one of the better parks around the league. They have a cool Chatham script behind home plate with red, white, and blue stars all around home plate. Of course, they played Orleans here yesterday. And now back to 1-2 in the count is Jaden Davis. The 1-2 pitch is low and inside. It misses. So Kiesel will have to go back to the bank here at 94. 2-2 the count here to Jaden Davis, who hit a hard line drive right at Nolan Naraki his last time up. The 2-2. Kiesel can't get the call. It's low and outside. Count full. 4-1 win over Orleans last night on the 4th. Winning that home and home series 12-1, then 4-1, outscoring them 16-2 across those 2 games. The payoff pitch from Kiesel. Taken off the left hip of Jaden Davis. He did check his swing, but he will head to first on a hit by pitch. That one just running too far inside. And with 2 gone, they'll have a base runner for the top of the order.
That can't feel good for Jaden Davis. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball right off the arm there. He was in pain, and now this seems to be the end of the line for Jansen Kiesel as Mike Roberts makes the slow trek out to the mound.
Yeah, we mentioned the lefty warming up in the Kettleers bullpen, Harrison Bodendorf. Warming up for the entirety of this inning, even at the end of the last inning when the Kettleers were batting in the top of the 4th frame. So Jansen Kiesel was left out there, got 2 quick outs on Kyle Lodis. And then a battle against Luke Cantwell, but that resulted in an out. Hits Jaden Davis on the payoff pitch with a 3-2 count. So with that pitch count elevating up to 85 pitches for Jansen Kiesel, his day will be done. So he goes 3 2/3 innings. Cotuit still trailing 3-1. It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Anglers. It's Austin Overn. He will face Harrison Bodendorf as we will return from Veterans Field in just a few moments. Bodendorf, the new pitcher for the Cats. Don't go anywhere.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Basic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
So we welcome you back in from Veterans Field for the bottom of the fourth inning. Harrison Bodendorf is the new arm in for the Kettleers with 2 gone in the bottom of the fourth. We welcome you back into the Ketts Radio Network for game 17 of this young season. Not a young season anymore as we are headed towards the halfway point. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco, with you as always. So Harrison Bodendorf will be making his 4th appearance of the summer. Pitching from the stretch with the glove in front of his chest. He'll go to Tanner Thatch first at first and check on Jaden Davis there, who's back in standing up. So Bodendorf with a 1.80 ERA through his first 5 innings pitched for the Ketts this summer. Has allowed 6 hits, 1 earned run. Now he comes set and he'll throw at first again. So it's interesting. Kind of a guy who throws from the 3/4 sidearm slot, and he'll do the same when he throws over to first on the pickoff.
Could definitely be a deceptive move for the runner and trying to throw off Jaden Davis at first.
Throws to first again. 3 straight pickoff attempts.
That's
Davis.
something that sorry to cut you off, Joe. That's something that we've seen a lot from the Kettleers pitching staff tonight. Of course, Jansen Kiesel had over double-digit pickoff moves in his 3+ innings of work.
First pitch is above the head of Overn. He has to duck underneath at 1-0. Yeah, interesting. Jaden Davis through 13 games so far this season. Doesn't even have a stolen base attempt. Pitch to Overn. He swats that one hard down the right field line, twisting towards the pole. And was it fair? It was not, says the first base umpire. Barely twisting to the right of that right field foul pole. And nearly giving the Anglers a 5-1 lead was Austin Overn. But he will head back to the box with a 1-2 count. 1-1, excuse me.
Overn misses home run number 3 by just a couple of feet. That ball tattooed off of the bat, just hooked it just outside of that foul pole as Bodendorf left the 1-0 pitch right down the heart of the plate.
And now with the count 1-1, he comes set. Takes a look at Davis, and now the throw. Overn watches it go by low and away. A walk in the first inning with 2 stolen bases. And struck out swinging on Jansen Kiesel in the second. So his 3rd plate appearance of the day with 2 gone and the Anglers leading 3-1. The pitch. It's low and outside. Ball 3. Bodendorf finishing up his 2nd season at Hawaii across 2 years there, a 4.03 ERA. He's ready again. The 3-1 pitch is a breaking ball that's swatted foul towards the Kettleers dugout. Peebles out to make the play. Plays it off the bank, off the bottom of the dugout there. Easy play for him. So the Kettleers on the first base side, old dugouts at Veterans Field. Mike Roberts on the far left of it, watching Harrison Bodendorf try to finish off Austin Overn here, who has the count at 3-2. Overn, the lefty, awaits. Payoff from Bodendorf is hit hard on the ground towards Tanner Thatch. Lunging to his right to make the play. He'll take it to the bag himself, and it's in time. A bang-bang play at first, but Thatch beat Overn there for the 3rd out of the bottom of the 4th inning. So Cotuit still trailing 3-1. And the new pitcher, Bodendorf, pitching to one batter, Austin Overn. He gets him on a full count ground out. So still 3-1 as we go to the top of the 5th inning with the Kettleers trailing on the Ketts Radio Network.
With 30+ years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Top of the fifth inning, Cotuit trails by 2, 3-1. The Anglers have the advantage. Kozera is back on the bump. He brings his black and gold glove to his face and throws to Jaron Advincula, the leadoff man. Sends a towering drive just outside the infield. Over to get it is Cantwell, and in the palm of his glove, he finds the first out.
Advincula just got well underneath that first offering from Tyler Kozera, skied it up on the infield, and a tough pop-up for the first baseman. Luke Cantwell had to judge it in the lights, but ends up making the play for out number 1.
Skies continue to darken here above Veterans Field. Overcast day, but turning tonight as the lights are glowing above this storied ballpark. And Tanner Thatch takes a strike 1 on the 89-mile-an-hour pitch from Kozera. Facing Thatch for the third time actually, and he's 1 for 2. Now it goes after a pitch down in the zone and comes up empty 0-2. So he's 1 for 2 today. A run scored after hitting a single in the first inning. Popped out on the infield in the third. Now down in the count 0-2. Here it comes. Thatch takes far inside, 1-2. So Cotuit now out hitting the Anglers. 5-3 on the scoreboard. Cotuit with just 1 run. Chatham 3 runs on 3 hits. Just 1 hit since that first inning. Now Thatch gets ahead of this one, sends a scorching drive over the second baseman and into right field for a single. So his day improves to 2 for 3, and they'll have a base runner in the top of the 5th for Matt Klein.
The catcher, number 18.
Thatch just 1 hit in the previous 5 games coming into today. Picks up hit number 2 on the evening. That ball just rocketed off of his bat for a 1-out single.
And now a mound visit for Chatham. And it looks like that will be the day for Tyler Kozera, who after this season at UCF didn't pitch over 3 1/3 innings, but today he pitches into the 5th, 4 1/3, allowing 6 hits from the Kettleers, 1 run. It was earned. Couple of walks, and a new pitcher will enter the game for the Anglers. A lefty, and we'll tell you who it is when we return here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation. Back from Betchens Field for the top of the 5th inning. One out on the scoreboard so far. Tanner Thatch lacing his second hit of the ball game, and that took the starter Tyler Kozera out of the ball game. So he goes 4 1/3 innings, and we'll send things to Gabe Van Emmen as the next pitcher to throw for the Anglers. It's popped up off the bat of Matt Klein, who is showing bunt, but that'll roll to the Kettleers dugout. So the lefty's first pitch is a strike at 91 miles an hour. 0-1 the count to Matt Klein. Gabe Van Emmen out of Yukon. Finished up his first year with the Huskies. A 6'2" left-handed pitcher out of Lexington, Mass, who from the stretch throws an 0-1 pitch to Klein that falls in at 82. The breaking ball is strike 2. So ahead 0-2 in the count on Matt Klein, who is 1 for 2 today. A single also in the first inning and a ground out in the third. So Klein continues his strong play as the 0-2 pitch. He reaches out over the plate and swats it straight back. Van Emmen, a 3-5 reliever so far this season, or last season at Yukon. 17 appearances, 10 starts, just under 60 innings pitched. And now Matt Klein will go down on strikes. Checked his swing. The call was made by the home plate umpire, and a swinging strikeout welcomes Gabe Van Emmen into the game. Brandon Compton is the batter. He takes a turning 82-mile-an-hour curveball. 0-1. Pitcher Van Emmen finishing up at Endicott College and then making the move to Yukon. Played at Endicott for 4 seasons. Didn't play at all in his first year, but in 2020 and 2021, 9 appearances. After that, 18 and 16. He's ahead in the count 0-2 here on Brandon Compton, who goes down on strikes. Looked at strike 3 at 83 miles an hour, and the lefty comes into the game, pitches 2 quick Ks to end the Kettleers' top of the 5th inning. So they strand a runner on first after Tanner Thatch's second hit of the ball game, but Brandon Compton ends the frame. So Kettleers trailing 3-1 as we go to the home half of the 5th on the Kettleers Radio Network. And when we come back, my broadcast partner Alex Rocco will take over on the play-by-play from here on out. Don't go anywhere.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and
Carson Bodendorf back out on the mound for his first full inning of work here in the bottom of the 5th. Chatham currently leads the Kettleers 3-1, as it's the 2-3-4 hitters due up for the Anglers here, and leading things off is the right fielder, Ashton Larson, who swings at the first pitch and grounds that foul. Larson today 0 for 1. Got the party started early with a long sac fly into the deepest part of the ballpark in deep center field that Kian Vu hauled down, but plenty deep enough for Austin Overn to come and score. He led off the ballgame with a walk and swiped second and third. As the 0-1 pitch from Bodendorf, breaking ball gets Larson well out in front as he's quickly down on the count 0-2 here.
Yeah, Larson, a couple of deep flies in this ball game already. One to straightaway center that scored the first run of the game for Chatham, and then a deep one to right his last time up.
The 0-2 pitch hit on a line to the first baseman Tanner Thatch, who plays it on a hop and takes it to the bag himself for the out. So a 3 unassisted to begin at the bottom of the fifth.
You know, we were just talking about during the break how much Tanner Thatch means to this team, and 2 for 3 today at the plate, but there are just so many plays in the ball game that go unseen from him, scooping plays at first and using that 6'4" frame to haul down plenty of balls that for most first basemen might sail into right field. So more great first base being played by Thatch tonight.
Now it's Ike Irish, the catcher, who looks at the first pitch from Bodendorf well outside that, goes off the glove of the catcher Matt Klein. Irish today, 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout. The 1-0 pitch from Bodendorf, looked at, fastball on the outside corner at 88 miles an hour for ball 2. Jansen Kiesel started this game for Cotuit, went 3 2/3, struck out 5, and allowed 3 runs, all coming in the bottom of the first. As Irish hits this one in the right field, the newly inserted right fielder Nathan Hall makes the play for out number 2, so 2 quick outs for Bodendorf to begin the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, and that's huge after he sent a full count to Austin Overn to end that 4th inning, really having to work against his first batter. But then 2 quick ones here in the 5th, and Cotuit trying to build some momentum. They've really done their job after that first inning, just got to get the bats going.
So Nathan Hall came into the game replacing Charles Davalon. Davalon went 0 for 2, was slated to hit second in the inning, but that'll be Nathan Hall. So now it's Sean Bay who looked at the first pitch. Now here's the next offering from Bodendorf. Check swing by Bay. He didn't go around, so the count is 2-0 here. Bay today 1 for 2. Grounded out to Jaron Advincula in the first and hit a rocket single up the middle. As the 2-0 pitch looked at for strike number 1 as Bodendorf went with the breaking ball. Bay came into today hitting .268 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs as the 2-1 pitch hit on the ground to the shortstop Tyler Cerny. Fields cleanly, throw low in the dirt, but gloved by the first baseman Tanner Thatch. And Joe, just like you mentioned, Tanner Thatch making a big impact offensively, makes a big impact defensively here with the out. So it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the first here, or bottom of the fifth, excuse me, for Harrison Bodendorf as we head to the top of the sixth with Chatham leading Cotuit 3-1 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Nathan Hall set to lead things off here in the top of the 6th. As Gabe Van Eman, back out for his first full inning of work, came on in relief of the starter Tyler Kozera. Actually, Hall came in as a defensive substitution for Kian Vu. Charles Davalon moved from right field to center field as he stands in the on-deck circle. The first pitch from Van Eman misses downstairs for ball 1 and follows that up with another fastball that misses low to Hall. So he sits up in the count 2-0 here. Vu today went 1 for 2 with an RBI. Hall swings away at the 2-1 pitch, launches that foul down the first base line. Hall did not play in yesterday's contest against Falmouth, as the 2-1 pitch looked at once again, so Hall sits up in the count in the driver's seat, 3-1.
Yeah, had 5 straight starts in right field after playing in game 15.
Hall hits a towering pop-up down the first base line. Giving it a look is the first baseman Luke Cantwell, but he runs out of room, so that foul ball reaches the crowd as the count runs full here to Hall to begin the top of the 6th.
Yeah, that was one that Cantwell had to track all the way over there. I have to believe that the wind blowing towards right field definitely pushed that one out of play, but it hit off the top of the fence, so Cantwell maybe could have had a play on it. But fortunately for Hall, he stays alive.
A payoff pitch on the way. Hall spoils it once more, popping that foul right behind home plate. So the 7th pitch of the at-bat from Van Eman to Hall is upcoming. Van Eman, the lefty, working on the righty Hall. Here's the payoff pitch. Hit slowly back up the middle. Van Eman gloves will run it to the bag, make the underhand flip for out number 1. So Nathan Hall retired after a 7-pitch at-bat to begin the top of the 6th.
Yeah, we contact drawn by the new arm in the game, Van Eman, for Chatham. Both relievers doing a nice job of settling things down after coming into this game, and still a 3-1 ball game. All the runs in this game scored in that first frame.
Now it's the lefty Charles Davalon. So lefty-lefty matchup here with 1 out in the inning. Van Eman starts him out with a breaking ball taken low and outside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, fastball waved on and missed by Davalon. So the count is even at 1-1. Van Eman is in his last season at Endicott, a 10-2 record with a 1.88 ERA, as the 1-1 pitch dribbled slowly down the first base line but foul. So the count is 1-2 here against Davalon.
Yeah, it was the 2023 D3 National Pitcher of the Year. Great season at Endicott.
Just an excellent season from Van Eman there. Making his first appearance here with the Anglers. 1-2 pitch spoiled again by Davalon over the press box to our left. So back-to-back foul balls from Davalon. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out swinging to end that top of the first for Cotuit, where they scored their only run as the 1-2 pitch taken at the letters for ball 2. So the count is even at 2-2. Davalon flew out in his second at-bat to the left fielder John Bay. Van Eman set up the belt, deals the 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, got him looking. Gabe Van Eman punches out Charles Davalon for his 3rd strikeout of the day, and just like that, there's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, and a new pitcher will step up for the Cats. Rolling out their pinch hitters here, and rightfully so. The offense has pretty much been silent so far today. I know 6 hits on the board, and we're in the 6th inning. But to be able to string those hits together is super important, and half of those hits coming in the first frame, both of these offenses being silenced.
So it's Grant Jay who swings at the first pitch, hits this one deep in the left field, but it's just a long fly ball off the bat of Grant Jay, gloved down by the left fielder John Bay. But a 1-2-3 top of the 6th for Gabe Van Eman, capped off by a loud fly ball of Grant J. And now we'll bring on Adele Huffman, who has more about the Kettleers.
Thanks, Alex. I want to talk about Thatcher Hurd, which I know we've been talking a lot about him lately, but there is a lot to talk about with Hurd. He pitched backwards yesterday, throwing those breaking balls first, and Shane Patagna was able to speak with Coach Roberts yesterday, and Coach Roberts said that he loved the slow curve on his ball to start off, which is something that not many college players are willing to do. And, quote, what he showed today is tremendous pitching ability, according to Roberts. And when Hurd was asked about his game yesterday, he said, quote, I pitched to my strengths and got ahead with what I have. Curveball and cutter are two of my best pitches. So just establishing those early and keeping them in between. So hearing about Shane's interview with Thatch and Coach Roberts, it's clear that Hurd has a different way of going about his pitching style, but it's definitely successful and awesome to watch out there on the field.
Hurd was just dominant yesterday. 8 up, 8 down to begin the ball game against Falmouth. Didn't allow his first hit until that top of the fifth. It was the home run by Gavin Turley, but the longest start this season for the Kettleers, and it was exactly what they needed to pick up the first win of July.
It just must have been a super cool experience for him to go through. I mean, we know he started a College World Series championship game, but also being able to start the fourth, it got to be super cool to add that kind of to your resume or just to your experience as a player. But Adele, we talked about our favorite parts of the fourth yesterday. What was yours?
My favorite part was definitely the axe throwing. I got paired up with Timo and Charles Davlin, and at some point we started betting on who was going to have to go to the slip and slide. None of us had to go, but it was a very entertaining hour.
Would have been interesting to see one of those guys go down the slip and slide before the game. I know you talked about a pregame with Nolan Naraki. He asked if he went down the slip and slide, said he gave it a thought, but didn't want to get his jersey too messed up before the game. But excellent stuff once again from Adele. As here is Iva Arquette, finds himself down to the count 0-2 here, swings away at the 0-2 pitch, launches that deep into right field. That'll hit off the base of the wall. Fielding it is the right fielder Nathan Hall. His relay throw cut off by Jaron Advincula. So it's an 0-2 double off the bat of Iva Arquette to begin the bottom of the sixth.
Yeah, two-strike hunting there. Iva Arquette, 2 extra base hits in this game already as well. 2 for 3 with a home run and a double. That one off kind of, right around the base of that wall. It's not a very tall fence around Veterans Field, and tough play to make for Nathan Hall, who's the new right fielder. Also have a new third baseman in the game, Luke Hansen. We'll get our first looks at him. His first Kettleers appearance of the summer.
So Mike Roberts emptying out the bench as the first pitch from Bodendorf to the lefty Eli Payton. Low in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Matt Klein. Staying put in scoring position is Iva Arquette. Eli Payton 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. In the first and third innings, ended both of those innings as the 1-0 pitch taken low and inside for ball 2. Payton this past season at Grand Canyon hit .319, 8 home runs, 41 RBIs. He's had a slow start this summer through his first 2 starts, just 1 for 8 with an RBI. The 2-0 pitch, that catches the strike zone at 86 miles an hour as Payton looks at it. Played 2 seasons at UCLA before transferring to Grand Canyon, but has found a home. Man in the hot corner there. Lays off at the 2-1 pitch low in the dirt, so he finds himself up in the count 3-1 here. With no outs in the inning and Iva Arquette standing on second. Chatham today just 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, but they still have the 3-1 lead over Cotuit as Payton chops this down the first base line, but foul right off the base of the Kettleers' home dugout. The road dugout.
Someone with a crazy reaction to that foul ball. It hit the base of the dugout, but whoever that was, look, it might have been Max Ballou, scurried to the back corner of the dugout.
The payout pitch on the way to Payton. Got him swinging. Harrison Bodendorf picks up his first strikeout of the day as Payton goes down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight.
Great put-away pitch from Bodendorf there. Untouchable to Eli Payton, who's had a difficult night at the plate, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts now. But with that runner on second, these outs are incredibly important for Bodendorf to get, and especially down 2.
Now it's the second baseman, Kyle Lodice. First pitch low in the dirt, kept in front by the catcher, Klein. Lodice 1 for 4 the first time these two teams squared off, back at Lowell Park when Cotuit picked up the 4-1 victory. Bodendorf out of the stretch, deals the 1-0 pitch. Lodice thought about swinging, holds back, but it's a strike regardless to even the count at 1-1. Lodice today 0 for 2, reached on an error by Tanner Thatch back in inning number 2, also flew out to right field. Hits this one into the right center field gap. Coming on is Charles Davalon, who makes the running grab for out number 2, makes the long throw over to the newly inserted third baseman Luke Hansen. But an excellent grab by Charles Davalon in center field as Kyle Lodice is retired for the second out of the inning.
He closed ground on that fast, Davalon, who had to race all the way into the alleyway there. He was playing in deep center field, maybe a bit to the left, which is where Roberts has been decided to shift the outfield towards, so to the push side for these left-handed hitters.
Now it's another lefty in this Chatham lineup. Luke Cantwell breaking ball. He has to duck out of the way for ball 1. Cantwell 0 for 1 today, walked in his first plate appearance, also grounded out to Jaron Advincula at second, excuse me. The 1-0 to Cantwell, looked at for strike number 1 to even the count at 1-1 here. That was a play that Advincula had to go into a slide to make the play on, as the 1-1 just a tad outside from Bodendorf. So Cantwell sits up in the count 2-1 here. Had a really successful first season at Pitt, where he hit .333, 10 home runs, 44 RBIs after transferring from Fairleigh Dickinson. Slow chopper down the first base line, foul. So the count is even at 2-2 here with 2 outs in the inning, and Iva Arquette standing on second base after his leadoff double. Bodendorf looking to strand another runner in scoring position here. Runner takes off for third, but Klein, no throw. The ball just popped out of his hand, so Iva Arquette, he swipes third base as Cantwell laid off for ball 3. So the count is full here with 2 outs in the inning, and Arquette standing just 90 feet away from Chatham's 4th run of the ballgame. The payoff pitch on the way to Cantwell got him swinging. Harrison Bodendorf pulls the strings on Luke Cantwell as he is set down on strikes for the first time today. Bodendorf picks up his second strikeout of the ballgame as he strands Iva Arquette on third base. We head it to the top of the 7th. Chatham leads 3-1 over Cotuit here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Nashville.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
8, 9, and 1 due up here in the top of the 7th. Chatham leads Cotuit 3-1 as Tyler Cerny set to dig in for his third at-bat of the day, currently 2 for 2 with 2 singles. has hit the ball well today as he looks at the first offering from Cabe Van Eman outside for ball number 1 as Van Eman starts him out with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. The 1-0 looked at once again by Cerny as he finds himself up in the count 2-0 here after the high fastball. Cerny came into today just 2 for his last 25 as he swings away at the 2-0 pitch, lofts that foul down the first base line. Deep into the night skies here, playing under the lights at Veterans Field. Such an amazing view here as the 2-1 pitch to Cerny. High fastball once again as Cerny waves through it with the count now even at 2-2.
This Veterans Field crowd tonight did not disappoint Friday night in Chatham. Seems like everyone's at the game.
The 2-2 pitch spoiled once more by Cerny. Fouled straight back. Definitely a great crowd. Fans littering the outfield. Down the third base, the first base lines right behind home plate. So an excellent crowd here in Chatham. The 2-2 from Van Eman hit hard down the third base line, foul. Goes off the Chatham home dugout. Cerny came into today hitting just 191. Had a stretch in the middle of the season where he was 7 for 17 with 3 doubles. As he hits another one deep down the right field line, that'll reach the crowd. But foul.
Yeah, another ball that's just slammed off the bat of Tyler Cerny, who sends the count to 2-2, but been hitting the ball hard as of late, and 2 hard hit balls so far today. A big reason why he's 2 for 2.
5 straight foul balls off the bat of Cerny as the 8th pitch is coming from Van Eman as he gets him down on strikes here. So a good battle between Cerny and Van Eman, but Van Eman picks up his 4th strikeout of the day as Tyler Cerny is retired for the first time.
Yeah, 6 up, 6 down here for Van Eman, and 4 of which have been by way of the K, as you just mentioned. But here a big spot for Luke Hansen. And our first looks at him this season.
Luke Hansen came into the ballgame for Nolan Araki, who was 0 for 2. Van Eman starts him out with a first pitch strike that was looked at. Hansen, he attends UVA. The next offering from Van Eman finds the inside corner of the plate, so he's quickly down in the count 0-2 here. This past year with the Who's hit 286 in 54 games. 7 home runs, 37 RBIs as the next offering from Van Eman, the 91-mile-an-hour fastball well outside. So the count is 1-2 to Hansen, who came in just a half inning ago as a defensive substitution. Van Eman kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch low in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher, Irish. But of course, no one on base doesn't come back to harm Van Eman. Van Eman working out of the stretch here, set at the belt, deals the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, he got him. Gabe Van Eman gets Tyler Cerny and Luke Hansen down on strikes to begin the top of the 7th, his 5th punch-out of the day. Now it's back to the top of this Cotuit order. Jaron Advincula, currently a rare 0 for 3 performance. Advincula swings away at the first offering from Van Eman, lofts that foul down the third base line, just a high looping pop-up. But that finds the grass. Advincula currently riding a 10-game hitting streak. 15 for 28 over the last 8 games. Has also scored 8 times. Drove in 5 runs as the 0-1 pitch popped high down the left field line. Getting underneath it is the third baseman, Eli Payton, who makes the basket catch for the 3rd and final out of the inning. So Gabe Van Eman continuing to dice up this Kettleer lineup as he's retired all 8 hitters he's faced so far. We head to the bottom half of the inning with the Anglers leading 3-1 over the Kettleers here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Osterville.
Three-one is still your score here in Chatham. It's been that way since after the first inning. No runs since that moment when Cotuit scored first, but Chatham has scored three unanswered as it's the 9-1 and 2 batters coming up here to face Harrison Bodendorf, who's gone 2 1/3 innings pitched, has struck out 2, as Jaden Davis looks at the first pitch well outside for ball number 1. Davis today with a hard line out to Nolan Naraki at third base in his first at-bat. Also was hit by a pitch, so he's 0 for 1. Bodendorf out of the windup comes set and deals the 1-0 pitch, taken well off the plate for ball 2. That was a big grab by Naraki. There's runners on second and third in that bottom of the second as Bodendorf pours in a strike. The count is 2-1 here. But there's runners on second and third and no out, and just a bullet off the bat of Davis, and Naraki with a leaping grab. And then Jansen Keys will retire the next two hitters as they stranded the runners on second and third to keep it just a 3-1 ball game. As now the count is 3-1 after Bodendorf's 2-1 pitch runs too far inside as Davis lays off. 3-1 on the way to Davis. Off the plate and outside for ball 4, so Jaden Davis reaches for the second time today as he works a 5-pitch walk.
Second base runner allowed by Harrison Bodendorf, first walk, and that does it for his first rotation around this lineup. Facing Overn for the second time, who brought the count full the last time he faced Bodendorf, rather.
So it's a lefty-lefty matchup here with Davis leading off first base. Overn today 0 for 2. First offering from Bodendorf low in the dirt, kept in front by Klein. Staying put is Davis. Overn today 0 for 2, walked in his first at-bat, swiped second and third, came around for the first run of the day for the Anglers. Struck out in the second and grounded out to Tanner Thatch to end the fourth. Bodendorf now out of the stretch. Took a long time off the rubber, now steps on. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Overn, taken well outside for ball 2. Overn this past year at USC, hit 8 home runs, 32 RBIs, batted .270, played in all 59 games. Broken bat, hit to the shortstop Tyler Stern. He plays it off the bounce, goes to Advincula for 1. No relay throw, so they'll just cut down Jaden Davis at second base as Austin Overn reaches with 1 out in the inning.
That's an impressive throw from Tyler Cerny, who was basically in that baseline between second and third, had to throw across his body at Jaron Advincula, who wisely eats it and doesn't try to get that force play at first, but to always get the lead runner is the key, and they did that right here, and another opportunity right now to draw a double play.
So it's a runner on first with 1 out in the inning. That brings up the lefty Ashton Larson, who swings at the first pitch, hits this one into center field. Making the grab is Charles Davalon, so 1 pitch, 1 out for Harrison Bodendorf as Larson is retired for the second out here in the bottom of the 7th.
A really nice job for Bodendorf to respond. A pair of weak contact hits, one to center field, one to shortstop, and that's a great way to respond after allowing your leadoff man to get on base, and he's still standing at first with 2 gone.
Bodendorf has really done a nice job today as a pickoff move, over and back in standing. This is his 4th appearance so far this summer. Came into today making a start, had thrown just 5 innings, but has gone 2 2/3 today. The longest outing so far of the summer for the tall lefty. First pitch to the catcher, Ike Irish, outside for ball 1. Irish today 1 for 3 with a double. He was stranded at third. Back in the bottom of the first, struck out swing and a fly out to right field. The 1-0 pitch looked at for strike number 1 on the outside corner. 3 lefties at the top of this Chatham lineup. John Bay stands in the on-deck circle. The first righty in this Angler lineup. The 1-1 pitch on the way from Bodendorf, taken low and outside. And Joe, it looks like Bodendorf attacking Irish on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, earlier in this ball game, we watch him belt one down the right field line to the pull side. Clearly, that's his forte. That's where he wants to hit it. And if you're Bodendorf, just want to keep it away from the barrel of his bat. Throw it low and outside and not let him get anything he can drive.
It was a second double for Irish this season as the 2-1 pitch once again outside off the plate to the lefty. So he sits up in the count 3-1 here.
Yeah, did that 4 times last summer at Brewster. And a good summer with the Whitecaps where he hit .283.
Bodendorf takes a look at the runner Overn, who was running on the pitch, but that pitch misses low and outside, so it's a 5-pitch walk for Ike Irish, the second free pass issued by Harrison Bodendorf in the inning, and Chatham has runners on first and second with 2 outs.
Yeah, there is a right-hander warming up in the Cotuit bullpen in the right field corner, but with 2 outs in this inning, they'll leave Bodendorf out there. Klein is going to look to buy some time, talk things over with his pitcher on the mound right now, but John Bay is the last batter they need to get. He's 1 for 4, and with runners on first and second, 2 gone, no need to pay any attention to the runners on base, just the task at hand, which is the batter, John Bay.
Bodendorf has gone 3 innings today, has tossed 48 pitches, 22 strikes, has struck out 2 batters, allowed just 1 hit and 2 walks. Looking to strand runners on first and second here is the first offering to John Bay, low in the dirt, kept in front by Klein. So Bodendorf starts out the count 1-0 here to the cleanup hitter, Bay. The first matchup between these two teams, Bay went 0 for 4 and struck out 3 times. It's 1 for 3 today. Bodendorf out of the stretch, pickoff move. Back in diving is Austin Overn. Advincula put the tag on him, but he dives back in safely. Overn with a lot of speed. Saw him swipe 2 bags earlier in the game. Up to 7 stolen bases this year. He's only been thrown out 3 times. Both runners take off here as just a slow dribbler fielded by Bodendorf down the first base line. The throw is in time to nab John Bay for the 3rd out of the inning. So a nice job by Harrison Bodendorf to strand runners on first and second as we head to the top of the 8th with the Anglers leading the Kettleers 3-1. Stay tuned for more here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
2-3-4 due up here for the Cotuit Kettleers in the top of the 8th as Chatham currently leads 3-1. I'm Malatraco, joined alongside by Jimmy Chantulis, currently filling in for Joe Pratton. Jimmy, what have you seen so far from Cotuit in this game? Just one run in that top of the first, but they do lead in the hit category 6-4.
Yeah, it's you would like to see them get a lot more, balls easily hit into the gaps. I mean, it's like you said, they have 6 hits. They are seeing the ball good at the plate. They have some pretty good plate discipline. But again, you would want them to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe a little bit more aggressive on the base running as well to potentially set them up for easier scoring opportunities. It's a far cry from what we saw yesterday. The bats really came alive yesterday.
5 runs in the 5-2 victory over Falmouth yesterday, and 2 of the 6 hits for the Kettleers today coming off the bat of Tanner Thatch, who puts a charge into this one deep in the left field. That one hits off the base of the wall. Thatch motors around first. He will head into second with a stand-up leadoff double, and Tanner Thatch records his 3rd hit of the day as he's now 3 for 4. That's exactly what the Kettleers needed, like you were saying, Jimmy. Big hits and getting runners in scoring position, and Tanner Thatch does just that.
Alex, you ask and you shall receive. Tanner Thatch absolutely got all of that ball right there. I honestly thought that was going to go over the fence, but a great stand-up double for Thatch.
And what a day for Tanner Thatch, too. Blast that one off the top of the left field fence, nearly his 5th homer of the summer. What a great day for him.
Lefty-lefty matchup against Gabe Van Eman, and this is a guy who's really been dicing up this Cotuit lineup. Just the first hit allowed by Van Eman today as it goes for extra bases. So now Cotuit set up here in a big spot. Thatch leads off second, and it's the 3-man in the order. Matt Klein, who's 1 for 3 today, struck out in his last plate appearance. So long pause on the field.
Coach Will Thompson going for a little jog right now around the outside of the field.
Willie T getting the gear from Tanner Thatch, who takes his lead off second. Van Eman kicks and deals the first pitch to Klein. Swung on and missed. Van Eman comes set at the belt. Takes a look at Thatch. Deals the 0-1 pitch. Fools Klein, who's well out in front of the breaking ball. As the count is 0-2 here.
Yeah, Klein down in the count once more. 0-2, was down in the count on 2 strikes last time. Got to protect.
Van Eman, a long look at Thatch. Set at the belt, deals the 0-2 pitch. Chopped slowly, fielded by the 3rd baseman, Eli Payton. His throw in time to nab Matt Klein. Moving up 90 feet is Tanner Thatch as he stands on 3rd base. So a productive out for Matt Klein here. And now that brings up the left fielder, Brandon Compton.
Good opportunity for Compton to bring in a desperately needed run here for Cotuit. I talked about how they really needed to be a little bit better on the base paths to be able to set themselves up for these easy runs. So Compton has a phenomenal opportunity right here.
Compton, one of the hottest hitters in this Kettleer lineup, swings at the first pitch, hits this one on the ground to the shortstop, Arquette. Fields cleanly, throw is in time to nab Compton at first base. But it's an RBI ground out for Brandon Compton. As Cotuit trails by just a run, it's 3-2 here in the top of the 8th.
Well, that's so huge right there. Just to put the ball in play, that's all you really need to do there. And that's just the luxury of having a runner in scoring position to start off the inning. I mean, a double that's off the wall in left center field. You should be able to score that guy at leadoff every single time. Cotuit doing just that, and still with an opportunity to keep the offense going, and got to chip away at that lead for Chatham. It's now 3-2.
So now it's Nathan Hall, the first pitch from Van Eman, in there for strike number 1. The second at-bat of the day for Nathan Hall, grounded back out to Van Eman in his first plate appearance in the 6th inning, as the 0-1 pitch low in the dirt gets away from the catcher, Irish. So the count is even at 1-1 here. Van Eman has gone 3 1/3 innings today, but it's just a 3-2 ball game. Cotuit 2 runs on 7 hits. Chatham 3 runs on 4 hits. Has the 1-1 pitch laid off high and outside by Nathan Hall. Hall came into the game for Kia and Vu. Playing right field, Charles Davalon, right fielder, moved over to center field where Vu was playing before. As the 2-1 fastball from Van Eman taken well outside as Hall in the driver's seat up 3-1 here with 2 outs in the inning. There's a leadoff double by Tanner Thatch, a ground out by Matt Klein, and an RBI ground out for Brandon Compton, and it's a 5-pitch walk here to Nathan Hall. So he reaches with 2 outs in the inning. That brings up Charles Davalon.
Yet another successful at-bat here for the Kets. Hall being able to see the ball very cleanly there, able to work that count heavily in his favor, get on base. Another opportunity for the Kets to get on the board here.
Lefty-lefty matchup here as it's Charles Davalon. Swings at the first pitch, chops this one right behind home plate, off the net. So the count is 0-1 here against Davalon, who's 0 for 3 today with a pair of strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. Also flew out to left field in his second at-bat. Van Eman comes set, looks at the runner, Hall. Davalon once again fouls this down the first base line. So the count is 0-2 here, 2 outs in the inning. Cotuit made it a 1-run ball game just moments ago after the RBI ground out from Brandon Compton. Van Eman looking to strand Hall on first base after the 2-out walk. The 0-2 pitch laid off high. So the count is 1-2 here against Davalon. Davalon making his second consecutive start, went 1 for 3 today, scored 2 runs and struck out once in the win against Falmouth. The 1-2 pitch from Van Eman, taken high and outside, that evens the count after the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Hall takes a short lead off first base. The lefty set at the belt, deals the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Charles Davalon down on strikes for the first time today, but not before Cotuit makes it a 1-run ball game after the RBI ground out by Brandon Compton that scored Tanner Thatch, who led things off here in the top of the 8th with a double. We head to the bottom half of the inning with Chatham leading 3-2 over the Kettleers here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Five, six, seven due up here for Chatham as they currently have a 3-2 advantage over the Cotuit Kettleers. I'm Alec Trocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Jimmy Shantulis. Cotuit came into the ball game with a 10-6 record. Chatham with an even 8-8 record. They've won their last 3 games, looking to make it 4 in a row here. Here it's Iva Arquette facing the new arm Isaac Lyon, who comes in and replaces Harrison Bodendorf, who goes 3 1/3, allows just 1 hit, walks 2, and strikes out 2. As the first pitch from Lyon taken low and outside for ball number 1. Arquette today, a really productive day, 2 for 3 with a home run and a double. Also a strikeout as the 1-0 pitch looked at for strike number 1 from Lyon. Lyon comes in, set at the belt. This is his 3rd appearance so far this summer. 1-1 pitch skips in to the catcher, Matt Klein. So the count is 2-1 here. Lyon so far this year, a 2.45 ERA and 3 2/3 innings pitched. Has allowed 4 hits, 1 run, 1 home run. Has yet to walk a batter and has struck out 5. His last appearance came back against Orleans just 3 days ago. Count even at 2-2 after the short foul ball from Iva Arquette that goes right down the third baseline toward the home dugout of Chatham. So Bodendorf doing a really good job eating innings of relief from Mike Roberts and company, and Lyon comes in looking to keep it just a one-run ball game. The 2-2 pitch on the way, hit hard to the second baseman at Vincula, evades his diving reach, and that goes into right field. So the 3rd hit of the day for Iva Arquette, as he's just a triple away from the cycle.
Vincula,
Yeah, great day at the plate for Arquette, who's now 3 for 4. Sorry to cut you off, Jimmy, but yeah, just 1 triple away from getting that. Of course, Chatham with only 1 triple so far on this season, so this game's going to have to continue into the late innings to give him a chance at that.
Yeah, no worries at all, Joe. Vincula just needed another inch or 2 of reach to be able to try and get that ball there.
Peyton puts the bunt down. They go to second for 1. The relay throw not in time, so Arquette is cut down on the bunt attempt from Eli Peyton as he reaches. So there's 1 out in the inning. Peyton stands on first base, and that brings up the second baseman, Kyle Lodis. Lodis today 0 for 3, reached on an error committed by Tanner Thatch, and flew out to right field, flew out to center field. But there's a runner on first with 1 out in the inning. Lyons' first pitch taken well outside on the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Lodis played this past year at Augusta. Played in 23 games, hit .316, but entered the portal earlier this offseason and announced he is attending Georgia Tech next campaign. The 1-0 pitch, once again outside for ball 2. Chatham has struggled with runners on base today. Just 1 for 9 as they've left 7 runners on base today. The 2-0 pitch to Lodis, looked at for strike number 1. 2-1 is the count here. Peyton takes a short lead off first. Righty-righty matchup here in the bottom of the 8th. Lyon now steps off.
Alex, 2-1 count here. Man on first. Potential of a double play here. What type of pitch do you think he'd be throwing to, get himself out of this inning here and give the Cats one more opportunity to get back into this ball game?
Could look for something on the outside corner. Does go to the outside corner, but just pushes that too far off the plate to the righty Lodis. So the count is at 3-1, but definitely something low and outside in the zone. Look for him to roll over on a ball, hit it to either at Vincula or Cerny at second and short. The 3-1 pitch to Lodis laid off as that one was well outside here. So it's a 5-pitch walk to the second baseman, Kyle Lodis, as its runners on first and second here with just 1 out.
We've talked a lot in these past couple days, especially with the way that the bottom of the order for Falmouth was performing in those 2 games. But today, Cotuit holding down this bottom half for Chatham, but they've just been able to get on base on hit by pitches, walks, errors, and another walk right there. And you can't be doing that, extending these innings.
Chatham just 5 hits today, 3 of which have come off the bat of Iva Arquette. As now it's Luke Cantwell looks at the first pitch for strike number 1. Cantwell today 0 for 2, reached on a walk, also grounded out to Jaron Advincula and struck out. 1-1 is the count here after the 85-mile-an-hour changeup from Isaac Lyon. Peyton leads off second, Lodice off first. 3-2 Anglers lead. Lyon, once again, the changeup outside as Cantwell lays off. Now Lyon will get a new baseball. And Joe, this is a big spot here for Isaac Lyon as Cotuit made it just a 3-2 ball game a half inning ago. How crucial of it is a spot to keep it at that deficit. The 2-1 looked at for strike two as Lyon evens the count with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, it's huge. I mean, we've talked so much about momentum. To get that run and then go out there and work a quick inning is super huge to get your offense right back out there and not give the other pitcher too much time to rest. But credit Chatham for doing a good job of extending at-bats.
The 2-2 pitch laid off for ball three here as the count runs full with one out in the inning. To the eighth man in this Chatham order, Luke Cantwell. Cantwell, the first time these two teams squared off at Lowell Park, went 0 for 3. Is 0 for 2 today and make it 0 for 3 as he goes down on strikes by Isaac Lyon, his first strikeout of the night, and that's a big second out of the inning with runners still on first and second, and that brings up the ninth man in this order, Jaden Davis.
Must be a huge sigh of relief here. Opportunity to get the bases juiced. Lyon, just one more out. Give the Cats a big opportunity here.
Lyon, 17 pitches through 2/3 of an inning. 18 strikes, his 18th pitch. This is low and away for ball one to Davis, who's 0 for 1 with a hard line out to Nolan Araki back in the second. Was hit by a pitch and reached on a walk. As the 1-0 pitch poured in there for strike one, that evens the count at 1-1. Davis hitting 156, coming off of a productive season at Vanderbilt. 1-1 pitch hit into the right center field gap. On the run is Nathan Hall, but that splits the outfielders. Fielded by Charles Davalon. 1 run's come in to score. The second run, the relay throw is in time. They got him. What a throw by Jaron Advincula to cut down Kyle Lodice, trying to stretch it to be the 5th run of the day for the Anglers, but it's a 4-2 ball game after the double by Jaden Davis, but a strong relay throw nabs Lodice for the 3rd and final out of the inning as we head to the top of the 9th with Chatham leading Cotuit 4-2. Stay tuned for more here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
So we welcome you back in before the top of the 9th inning. And Alex, we're going to do something that you have never done before. Try a hot dog. How you feel?
I mean, I said this yesterday because it was, of course, the 4th of July, and we were just talking about, like, great ballpark foods, and I was like, I've never had a hot dog before, and to the dismay of a lot of people, I've just never had one.
So, Adele, have you had a hot dog?
Yeah, I've had a hot dog. I don't even know how many times this summer. Rate all of them in the league.
All right, well, we'll see what this rating gets. Chris, is this probably your favorite hot dog in the league?
Dude, so I have to give a really good shout out to the Chatham Anglers here. They every game they have the $1 concessions at the end of the game, and last year I made it a staple to make sure you guys all get fed during the broadcast. And when I heard this morning that Alex, you'd never had a hot dog before, I have to be a good person, a good ball playing worker.
Yeah.
Just a great Cotuit Kettleer intern.
You're a great ball playing worker, Chris.
Oh.
And I think, Alex, are you ready to dig in here?
So before I do, this has also been a running joke back at school at Penn State because one of the baseball broadcasters for the university, Brian Tripp, he also has never had a hot dog before.
Wow.
So we've both been the two people that have never had a hot dog before, and it's kind of just a common bond that we've related over because a lot of people make fun of us. So I don't know how I'm going to break the news to him that I've tried a hot dog.
Are you ready to give it a try, Alex?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, it's a little unorthodox today. You have the ketchup and the mustard on a plate because, like, I don't know what sauces you like. So
Usually, I
just-
don't like a lot of sauces.
Okay,
Alright.
good.
Just go for it.
You're a plain dogger.
Go
I
for it.
Usually,
Here we go.
it's not bad.
Oh,
Pretty good.
Scale.
8.2.
We'll give you a second.
8.2. Interesting.
Well,
Does it help your score that it was only $1?
It does.
That's always a good sign.
Cost affordability plays big time, especially on a college student's budget.
Oh, amen to that. And that's why I love this place, man. Like, I won't be a hungry college kid tonight.
no. Someone asked better than a Fenway Frank? I don't know.
I mean, that I've never had before. So.
You might not like it.
As a Yankee fan, definitely not. But
Well, are you ready to finish chewing and get on with this top of the ninth?
yeah, let's do it. Is
Nice.
Grant Chase set to dig in here.
Thank you so much for the hot
yeah,
dogs,
thanks,
Chris.
guys. This totally caught me by
Hey,
surprise.
that's what I'm
Joe
here
was
for.
saying it before, like we got a surprise here, but totally didn't expect this. I just thought Chris was going to come on and talk.
Hey, I was giddy with excitement all day for this. Like, I wanted to make sure this was a surprise for you. So, living the dream, baby.
The count is 3-1 to Grant J. He grounds this hard down the third base line that gets past the third baseman, Eli Payton, as Grant J. held to a leadoff single here in the top of the ninth. The strong relay throw by John Bay. So it's Grant J's first hit of the day. And a big spot here for the Kettleers as they trail 4-2 in the top of the ninth.
Great piece of hitting by Grant J, who was inserted into this game earlier on in the ball game. We saw Roberts roll out his pinch hitters, clear off the bench, as you mentioned, and it's making a difference, and we'll see if it makes further of a difference as we continue in this top of the ninth.
It's a new pitcher for the Anglers. Pierce George comes in relief of Gabe Van Eman. Starts out his first at-bat against Tyler Cerny with a first pitch ball. Cerny today, 2 for 3 with a strikeout. Has singled twice. Van Eman went 3 2/3. Allowed just 1 hit, 1 run. Walked 1 and struck out 6. As Cerny, a bullet, gloved by the second baseman, Kyle Lodis. So a hard hit line drive, just right to Lodis for the first out of the inning. Staying put is Grant J. And now that brings up Luke Hansen.
Yeah, hard contact again from Tyler Cerny. Just unfortunate for him, and it's kind of been what he's experienced a lot these past 10 games, right at the second baseman. A scorching drive, but it ends up being the first out. Doesn't matter how hard you hit it. It's still on the scoreboard, going to go down as an out. And the Kettleers in desperate need of some base runners right here.
Now it's another pinch hitter, Timo Becerra, pinch hitting for Luke Hansen. Hansen 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. The first offering from George, barely hauled in by the catcher Irish, as he had to lunge into the left-handed batter's box here. So Jay leads off first. Becerra, newly inserted into the game, the 1-0 pitch, waved through and missed on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball from George. Crowd starting to get loud here as they Chatham just 2 outs away from their 4th consecutive victory. They currently lead Cotuit 4-2 here in the top of the ninth. Becerra with a healthy cut out of the 95-mile-an-hour fastball from George, but all he can do is wave through it. So the count is 1-2 here.
Yeah, perfectly located there from Pierce George climbing the ladder. Becerra can't quite get to it, but really wanting to swing at that one. Took a violent hack, but now going to have to protect it 1-2.
Righty-righty matchup here. This is George's 3rd appearance so far this summer as the 1-2 pitch once again. High fastball at the letters. Becerra lays off to even the count at 2-2. George played this past campaign at the University of Alabama. at a 1-0 record with a 4.76 ERA. Transferred there after spending his freshman campaign at Texas. The 2-2 pitch, high fastball once again. Becerra lays off, and George bringing the velocity here, 96 on the gun, Joe.
Yeah, really good eye from Becerra, too, down in the count 1-2, but having the composure, having the discipline at the plate to not chase after those pitches.
George out of the stretch, set at the belt. Jay leads off first. The 3-2 pitch, got him swinging. Pierce George, after a long at-bat against Timo Becerra, gets him down on strikes, and Cotuit is down to its final out here in the ninth.
Yeah, well, he went back to that pitch to get the second strike on Timo Becerra, and that one likely would be a called strike 3 at the top of the zone. Becerra having to swing at it, but can't quite catch up to the 96 high heat, and the Kettleers are down to their final out.
Now it's Jaron Advincula who represents the tying run in this game. Grant Jay, he led off this inning with a single. He stands on first. George out of the stretch, deals the 0-1 pitch. Advincula chases well high and misses the high heat.
I mean, if there's any pitch in the count that you want to take a massive hack at, try to put it over that right field fence, it's the first one. But tough to catch up to in the upper 90s, and he's down 0-1 immediately.
This is the guy that you want to have up at bat if you're Cotuit in a situation like this, as Advincula slow chopper right to the Cotuit dugout on the first base side, and now the Kettleers are down to their final strike. Chatham leads 4-2 as Veterans Field sensing just one out away here. George set at the belt. Jay leads off first base, kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch. This one low in the dirt and actually runs too far inside and plunks Jaron Advincula. So he reaches on the hit by pitch, and this game continues for at least another batter as Cotuit now brings up the go-ahead run, and it's Tanner Thatch.
No other guy in this starting 9 today that you would want up other than Tanner Thatch, who is 3 for 4, a double. The last time he was up, that was off the fence in left center field. He came around to score the second run of the game for the Cats. That was just an inning ago. So they're going back and forth today. Chatham and Cotuit, 1 run for Cotuit in the top of the first, 3 for Chatham in the bottom half, and then 1 run for Cotuit in the 8th. And then in the bottom of the 8th, Chatham evening them up at 1 once more. But a great day at the plate so far for Tanner Thatch, 3 for 4, and he's the last chance for Cotuit tonight.
Grant Jay, he leads off second. Advincula off first base. It's Thatch against George here with 2 outs in the ninth. The first pitch to him looked at for strike number 1, 95 on the gun from George. George, high velocity. Thatch today, 3 for 4, a double, and 2 singles. Looking to extend this game. Set at the belt, kicks and deals the 0-1 pitch. Thatch, a bullet line drive, that gets into right field. Getting the wave around is Grant Jay, then he puts on the brakes. So it's another single for Tanner Thatch. He's 4 for 5 on the day, and the bases are loaded here for Matt Klein.
Yeah, Roberts holding up Jay at third. You definitely don't want the third out of this inning, and then the 27th out of this ball game for Chatham to be made at home plate. So wisely there to keep the chance of a comeback alive for the Kettleers, and as of right now, it's seemingly getting easier and easier, but still some work to be done.
Bases are loaded here with 2 outs in the inning. Klein swings at the first pitch, hits a towering pop-up just on the edge of the infield. Calling off the third baseman is the shortstop, Iva Arquette, who makes the play for the third and final out of the ball game. So Pierce George works in and out of trouble, strands the bases loaded here in the top of the ninth, but Chatham picks up victory number 9 and has won 4 straight ball games.
Yeah, it was a great win for Chatham, who held off the Kettleers on the scoreboard for 7 of the 9 innings of this ball game. Just runs in the first, runs in the 8th, and they did a great job of keeping the Kettleers off the base paths, and just a great night for them as they win their 4th straight, and it's a big win for them as they have really struggled against teams that are above 500. Their previous 3 wins amidst this streak, Alex, all against teams under 500, 2 being Orleans, and then the other win against Brewster. So for them to get a meaningful win against a really strong Cotuit team that has been playing really well, but now back to 1-4 in their last 5, and some work to be done offensively. The pitching staff was good for the second half of tonight's game, but they just are unable to come away with this one, and it's the timely hitting once more that harms the Kettleers in the end.
And you talk about timely hitting, Joe. Cotuit out hit Chatham today, 9-6, but of course, not winning the battle where it matters most on the scoreboard. 4-2 Chatham wins. That much in part to Cotuit hitting just 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position and leaving 10 runners on base.
Yeah, I mean, you can't leave too many runners on base like that. And now Mike Roberts talking things over with Scheedinger behind the home plate here at Veterans Field. All of the Cotuit coaching staff is right there as well. This is an interesting conversation happening right now between the new manager in this league, one of the newest managers in the Cape Cod Baseball League, Jeremy Scheedinger, and he is seemingly having an argument with Mike Roberts, but those two will go back to their respective posts as both of the coaches will shake hands and put a bow to this Game 17 of this season.
And it was a tough start to the day for the Kettleers. They scored the first run, but came back, and Chatham answered quickly with 3 runs in the bottom of the first with the sac fly from Ashton Larson and the 2-run bomb from Iva Arquette. And it was a tough start to the game for the starter Jansen Kiesel.
Yeah, it really was. The start of the game was difficult for him as he was really struggling to find the box, but then returning in his next 3 innings really did a good job of getting ahead of pitchers or getting ahead of batters and getting ahead in counts, and that really set him up to throw the pitches that he wanted to, work batters the way that he wanted to, and sequencing wise, and to draw some weak contact after that. I mean, it's no really wonder that the batters ground out and fly out weakly when they're down in the count because they're not fishing for pitches that they want to get here, pitches that they can drive. And that's exactly what Kiesel did for the second half of his outing. And then Harrison Bodendorf did a really nice job as well. But those insurance runs for Chatham and then the big first inning ends up being the difference today.
You mentioned earlier, Joe, Cotuit falling to 1-3 in the month of July, and things don't get much easier tomorrow. It's Bourne coming into town here at Lowell Park, and should be another good battle. Those two teams squared off earlier in the season. Bourne won tonight against Harwich with a 5-2 victory. What are you looking forward to in tomorrow's game for Cotuit to right the ship?
Well, I mean, they scored first tonight, and they scored first yesterday, so clearly maybe scoring first isn't the recipe for a victory for them, but to have good pitching tomorrow, have solid starting pitching, to have a solid bullpen performance. That's exactly what we saw the last time the Kettleers played against the Bourne Braves. They got a great start from Thatcher Hurd, who struggled in the first inning, but then got out of it, worked his way out of it, was able to send it to the bullpen with just 3 runs on the board for the Braves. And then after that, Cotuit offense really exploded and ended up winning that game 7-3, but it was the bullpen that did a great job of holding the Braves off the board. So I think that's going to be the key tomorrow again, to hold off for the second half of that game. You know the bats are going to eventually get there, as we saw in tonight's game, whether it's exploding for a couple innings in one, or for exploding for a couple runs in one inning, or just 1 run in a couple innings dispersed around the rest of the game. But for them to be able to put runners on base and score them, it's not something that Cotuit has struggled with this season. It's being able to put together 9 innings of consistent pitching, and that's not something that we saw tonight. Hopefully we can see more of that tomorrow when they take on Bourne.
Aiden Hunter gets the ball for the Kettleers tomorrow, making his first start in Cotuit, and it's a familiar face for Bourne as Zane Adams makes his second start against the Kettleers. But that'll do it here from Veterans Field. Chatham collects a 4-2 victory over Cotuit, but for my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt, for our sideline reporter, Adele Hoffman, for our 2 production gurus, Shimmy Shantulis and Cam Christie, I'm Alex Rocco. Thank you so much for spending part of your Friday evening with us. Chatham beats Cotuit 4-2. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your evening.